What is good with everybody's Crunch Time TV? Smash the like button as y'all come on in. We got a big one today. Hit the Cash App. It's in the description if you want to donate to the channel. And also, the link is in the description right now to join up on the panel. Because guess what? Chris Paul was announced as starting point guard for the Golden State Warriors. And quite frankly, this is his last chance. When they make Chris Paul a documentary for his last big season, they're going to have to call it the last chance. Because this season right here is going to determine if Chris Paul is even going to be relevant in terms of basketball history, basketball, nostalgia and all of that. This season is going to determine that because you're playing with somebody named Stephen Curry, who obviously is good at winning championships. And if he brings you along, if you're supposed to be the point guard, right, then this should be a no-brainer, right? Now you're playing with two of the top 5 greatest shooters ever on a dynasty team that knows how to win a championship. Listen, y'all, in my opinion, I believe that Draymond should come off the bench. Right? I think it's because they already said that Chris Paul is starting. I think they should start Chris Paul, Steph, and Clay, Wiggins at the 4, and Looney at the 5. That's what I think. A lot of people were saying, I seen some people were saying, matter of fact, shout out to Ticket TV. I believe it was Ticket TV that said Wiggins should come off the bench. I think that would be a good fit as well. But to be honest, I believe that with Golden State being up in age, they want a lot of firepower to start off for that starting lineup. But anyway, yeah, so Chris Paul, man, like I said, this is his last chance. I don't really have no tolerance for Chris Paul because at the end of the day, a lot of people call him the point guard, and he never really did nothing, in my opinion. I think a lot of point guards surpassed him. Soon as Russ, Kyrie, Steph, Dame, soon as they came along, I believe they surpassed him. I do believe that John Wall is better than Chris Paul at his best, things of that nature. And then now you got the point guards like Ja Morant, Trae Young, Luka, if you consider him a point guard, Jamal Murray, De'Aaron Fox. All these guys with the numbers they putting up, and you know what I'm saying, with a little bit of longevity, they're going to surpass Chris Paul. Now, this is why I say this is his last chance. If he wins a championship this year, that can mean a lot for his career. That can mean a whole lot for his career. But we're going to bring people up in here, man. I want to know what y'all feel about Chris Paul. To me, I mean, this is it. This is it. Yo. It was good, Reels.
What's good, bro? Listen.
I know this your guy, bro, but I'm just saying, I know this is your guy, man. But
yeah, you lost me with the John Wall. The only thing John Wall did was peak higher. That's about it. But this is one of his last chances at winning the championship, I believe, showing his value. And honestly, bro, for the fact that we're talking about somebody that could average 19 and 10, 19 and 8 for a damn near 20-year career, almost working on 20-year career. I think that he just needs to focus on being the best playmaker, putting all that he can into his motor for defense, and just be a great spot-on shooter. Just straight efficiency while playing with these brothers on the Warriors.
Yeah, man. It's just Chris Paul, man. Because you know who they they lost Jordan Poole, and Jordan Poole is definitely giving a lot of scoring, a lot of stuff like that, a lot of bucket getting.
Yeah, but this is an opportunity for Wiggins, Clay to get more buckets, because when you lose out on Jordan Poole and get Chris Paul, you get more opportunities in regards to dealing with a great playmaker, one of the top 20 offensive players all time. You see what I'm saying? So I just think you're gonna get hit by Chris Paul in spots that you've never been hit before as a Warrior, in ways that Steph Curry may not even see the court with Chris Paul.
Yeah, I do agree with that too. Like as well with Chris Paul playmaking. I do believe like he's an all-time great playmaker. So he's gonna know how to it's gonna be something different for the Warriors that they didn't see. Like they had Draymond running their plays a lot. Now this is probably their first time having like an actual elite point guard running things. Like Iguodala was kind of playing some playmaking roles, but none of them guys was true like elite point guards.
Exactly.
So now
Exactly.
we
That's
actually
the
gonna see
focus.
what happens.
Yes, and now you're dealing with a guard that is pass first.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? He's a clutch, that he's
yeah,
efficient. And I don't know about you, but this is the first time I've seen a power forward and a point guard be like the best playmakers on the team per se. Like in regards to Draymond and Chris Paul being on the same team, I've never seen a playmaking dynamic like that, or a dynamic with two players that can facilitate at the rate that they do. You know,
yeah,
so it's more on Draymond also needing to get his motor up in regards to just scoring. Like
yeah.
I know you're always gonna be playmaking, facilitating, defending, but you're gonna need to score. When you lose out on Jordan Poole, you're missing out on 27 points.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting, man, because like I mean, they're gonna have those playmakings. You're gonna have Chris Paul passing it to Stephen Curry and Klay Thompson, man. It could get ugly, I'm not gonna lie. But I think he has a good chance though. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? I think he has a good
but
chance.
but let's say even if he doesn't win or get a ring with them, he's still a Hall of Famer. He's still a top 10 point guard all time,
You say you still a what?
a top 10 point guard all time.
Top 10 though?
I think it's difficult to name 10 point guards better than Chris Paul all time. If we're talking about the best and not the greatest, and even then, if we're talking about the greatest, what he's been able to do in regards to production and individual accolades aside from championships, it holds weight to other point guards like Russell Westbrook, point guards like Tony Parker. You know, think about it.
I'm thinking about he's I mean, Chris Paul is a great player, man. He really is. Um, if I'm being honest with you, I do have him at 17 as far as all time point guards. I bet. Let me see. I'm gonna put the list right there.
All right, guys. Yeah, I hear you though. I'm not. I'm getting to the bag right now. But I hear you.
But yeah, I got him. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. Everybody in the comments listening, man, y'all smash the like button. I ain't gonna lie. Real's been wanting this 1-on-1 too for a minute about this Chris Paul thing. But I got him. I got him number 17. Right. I got him number 17 on my all-time point guards list, and I'm gonna show y'all who I have ahead of him. He probably could jump if he wins this year and produces, but it's hard to jump that far when he's at this age in his career. But he's gonna have to be older. I mean, excuse me. He's gonna have to with him being older, he's gonna have to produce for me to move him up like a lot.
Really? Really? So why do you have Russell Westbrook over Chris Paul?
Because of his numbers and his consistency with those numbers and dominance, which is
Okay.
way more dominant than Chris Paul for a longer
So
time, like a longer
let's
stretch.
talk. Let's talk about those numbers. What numbers do you want to talk about? Scoring.
You can go scoring with the playmaking, with the
All right.
rebounding.
So let's talk scoring. Uh, Chris Paul is a better three-level scorer, which he's a better three-point shooter. He's a more efficient mid-range shooter, and he can also finish at the rack, but not as good as Russell
Now,
Westbrook.
in his prime, would you say that his midi is better than is more effective
Yes,
than Westbrook's?
yes, because Chris Paul is a better shot creator. He has better shot selection. He's more efficient, and he's more clutch than Russell Westbrook. And that's just scoring. You see what I'm saying? Like Chris Paul is definitely better than Russ at defense. He's in regards to playmaking, I think in the half court offense, I think Chris Paul is better. Um, In transition, I could definitely give it to Russell Westbrook in regards to playmaking. Um, but throughout his career, I think Chris Paul, in regards to just facilitation, period, I think he's overall a better point guard than Russell Westbrook. If we're talking scoring, playmaking, assists, defense, yeah, I'll probably give it to Chris Paul, bro. But don't get it wrong. Westbrook probably peaked higher, but I don't know if it's. I don't know, bro.
Yeah, I
I
thought
gotta see.
I was looking at that list. Yeah, no, I'm hearing you. Like
No,
I heard
you
everything you
good.
said.
You're
I heard
good.
everything you said, bro. Hey, what's up, Dribble or Drown?
Oh, I haven't heard Dribble or Drum in a minute. What's going on, homie? I haven't heard about him since the draft.
What's up, y'all? Give me a second. I'm in the store. I just wanted to join. I'm gonna have my headphones in a minute.
Also, Chris Paul translated to the playoffs. He was a great translator to the playoffs. He was a playoff riser, actually, in regards to scoring. And yeah, probably in regards to scoring more. Yeah, that's about it. Everything else probably maintained the same and went down a slight in regards to like assists. Because I think he decided to score more in the playoffs because, he is that number one option if we're talking about the Hornets, Clippers, and OKC for one season. But I'm just saying, I'm just saying, I just, and then don't even talk about rebounds because Chris Paul can rebound. He averages like 5 rebounds for a whole career.
All right, you hear me, bro?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna just go ahead and keep it honest with you. I'm gonna show you the list on who I got over this man. So
I
this is my
mean,
list.
did I or did I not debunk the Russell Westbrook take at least?
To see with Russell Westbrook, the thing is that I'm going off of eye tests and numbers first. That's my first 2 points on my criteria. Like, so with that being said, it's like eye test and numbers. Russell Westbrook does take the cake for like against Chris Paul, and my third piece would be championships, and they both don't have a championship.
So the last part was accolades. The first part is the eye test and basically production, right? And did I miss anything else? I think there was a third piece.
It's like eye test first. Like I have to like basically when I look at Chris Paul and Russell Westbrook, I believe Russell Westbrook is a better talent. You see what I'm saying? So basically, talent, eye test, and talent is pretty much the same.
No, 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 no. See, you could be talented, but that talent doesn't always mean that you're as skillful as the other player. Talent and skill is two different things.
Oh no, skill plays into it. But I'll go
Yeah,
talent like and skill. Like for example, like yeah, like skill. I would say Chris Paul is more skilled, but I just think they're like both like they both have the talent. Like I'm trying to think of another example, like Stephen Curry. He's
hmm
more skilled. He's more skilled than Russ, but I think they're both just as like talented though.
Okay,
Or
so
like D
yeah,
Rose, like they like Kyrie is more skilled than D Rose, but they both just as talented.
that's true. That's okay. So in that D Rose Kyrie situation, I would say Kyrie's the more skillful one, and D Rose is the talented one. So I feel like Chris Paul's game is more technical than Russell Westbrook's. Russell Westbrook is very simplistic. The fact that he can do a little bit of everything is impressive, but it's nothing special about Russell Westbrook's game aside from his motor, his aggressiveness, and maybe his explosiveness. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something.
Yeah, no, he just uses that though to pretty much, you know, produce at a high level. And so I'm just going off of the production he put up with the talent because for Russell Westbrook, like his thing is that he's the most athletic point guard ever, him and D Rose. So that's something he can say about his personal talent, and then he uses that. Like I said, they said nobody was ever going to break that record, the triple double record. He shattered it. I think he's a more historical point guard than Chris Paul. He's like literally adding more to the NBA, I think. And Like I said, the numbers speak for themselves. And I do believe, I mean, him and Chris Paul pretty much, I'll give them equal production as far as in the finals, as far as what they did in the finals. But Russ was probably just a little bit better. And that was a young Russ. So if he was in the finals later on, which he wasn't, I'm not gonna try to use a hypothetical, but I'm just saying we seen him at his peak, in his prime, man. But then it's like you got guys like Jason Kidd that led that team to the finals twice. I got him over Chris Paul. You got to put Tony Parker over Chris Paul. You got 4 rings. You got a Finals MVP. You know what I'm saying? He played against LeBron James and literally got a Finals MVP. Man, this is his last chance. You know what I mean? So
I disagree with that Tony Parker one. I ain't gonna lie. I do like Tony a lot, but I just feel like in the totality of their careers and what they've done for the game, I mean, Tony, I say he has more to show for, obviously, but he also got more people that he played with. You know, I'd be consistent across the board with who I talk about. I hold, you know, guys like LeBron, Steph Curry to the same like level, and I feel the same way about Tony Parker. I mean, he had Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, Pop. Like he had all these Hall of Famers that he is cold. Don't get me wrong. Like he's still up there, ranked around Chris Paul. But I think I'll give Chris Paul the edge just based off of how he was always the best player on his team, undoubtedly, up until
Exactly.
probably like, you know, Devin Booker started to show up.
No. He was the best player on his team until he reached Houston. When he reached Houston, he was dealing with James Harden. But when he reached Houston, he was already out of his prime. So I would like to ask you, since you want to talk about Tony Parker, what player did Chris Paul play with that was up to Tim Duncan's level or Kawhi Leonard's level of excellence or skill set?
and here
You
it
know what I'm
goes right
saying?
here. No, but here it goes right here though. First
I'm
of
listening.
all, I can debatably say that Blake Griffin was better than him, but I'm not gonna go there. Right? I can say
You
he was.
wouldn't dare.
I can say he was still in his prime when he went to Houston, as far as production wise.
Chris
And then
Paul?
watch this, right? This is why this is.
Yeah, I
And
agree. I agree.
yeah,
With that.
look, and then look at this, right? So this is why this is his last chance. The last chance is gonna be his documentary name, because the question you just asked me, right? Who's on the level of Tim Duncan that he played with? That would be none other than Stephen Curry.
I was about to
So
say that too.
you
Yeah,
see what I'm
I was
saying?
gonna say that too. Yeah, I was gonna say that too.
See what I'm
It's
saying?
hard not
So
to say
that's
that.
why
Like
this
this.
is. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, they definitely. I definitely agree with Crunch with that. Like, if they don't, it's a problem if they don't at least compete for a championship this year. You know, like I get Chris
No,
Paul's out of his prime. I get he's out of his prime, bro. But with his IQ and the level and what he brings to the game, like I don't know, bro. I mean, they obviously still need to probably make another move. That Dwight Howard sound pretty, and it may be too good to be true because we don't even know if he could produce. But I'm not sure, bro.
listen, Chris
I
Paul
agree
can
with Crunch
always
on
bring
that
the
statement.
best out of players. You know that.
This is definitely
Chris
his
Paul
last chance.
definitely brings the best out of players. And I think if Dwight Howard was to sign with the Warriors, he would be a perfect matchup with Chris Paul, which brings another threat to the offense.
That would
Aside
be
from the
tough.
three
He
pointers,
37
yeah,
though.
aside from the 3 pointers, you got the pick and roll movement with Dwight Howard, Chris Paul, and possibly Kevin Looney if he joins that. But like I stated, with Chris Paul, I feel like he got out of his prime the second he was his second season in Houston and departing from there. Because both seasons that he was in Houston, he only got to play 58 games due to his health, we know, and including the playoffs. But when he went to OKC right after Houston, we know he was already he was the best player on the team, but in the sense where you're the veteran, you're controlling the offense, everybody's flowing through you, but we're not looking at him as the best player on OKC. Like, okay, he's about to get us a chip. So at this point, which is the reason why when he went to Phoenix, he ended up being like the fourth best player on the team, behind DeAndre Ayton, Devin Booker, and maybe he was the third best player on the team. Wait, was
Yeah,
Bridges
he was
there?
for sure the third best.
Bridges was there, right?
And but Bridges wasn't producing more than Chris Paul. That didn't happen
So
until everybody
you
got hurt.
understand. So you see what I'm saying. So even towards his later years, he as the third best player, he took it to the finals. And I don't think Tony Parker, Damian Lillard could do
I
what
mean,
Chris Paul did
he played better than
as
Ayton
the number
too.
one.
He
This is what I'm saying.
he played
So
better than Ayton. He was
But
really their
remember, a
second best
big
player.
man. But remember, with a big man like DeAndre Ayton, you're only gonna do as good as your point guard allows you to. Because DeAndre Ayton is not creating his own shots. You see what I'm saying?
He,
The same way
I
DeAndre Jordan disappeared as soon as he left the Clippers.
yeah, but DeAndre Ayton actually got a small, low post game. Like I feel like that's his mental, where he
I'm
not
gonna be
trying to
honest with
adjust
you.
it.
He has no low post. He lost his low post game. He lost his defense. He
You talking
lost
about
his
DA?
aggression. The second, yes, I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you. He lost his aggression. He lost his post game. He lost his rebounding skills as soon as that man got off them PEDs. So that man is a complete joke to me right now. So I'm gonna tell you this though. Chris Paul literally gets people paid. He got DeAndre Ayton paid. He got Tyson Chandler. He got probably even
I
Blake.
mean, I don't agree
Like,
with that. I don't agree with that, bro. I don't agree with that.
are you
Tyson
crazy
Chandler,
with Tyson
Tyson
Chandler?
Chandler.
Yes,
I mean,
yes,
I
bro.
agree.
On New
I agree,
Orleans,
and I remember
yes.
how great Chris Paul was in New Orleans, but Tyson Chandler was a dog too. Like he was a dog coming out of bro. You being
Yeah, but remember
disingenuous.
what I told you.
He got DeAndre
No,
Jordan
no,
paid. I
no,
give you
no,
that.
no. No. You
I
can't
give you
say
DeAndre
DeAndre
Jordan.
Jordan and not
Tyson
Tyson
Chandler
Chandler.
blocked shots,
You
played
cannot
defense. You see,
you
he went
cannot
on to win
say
a champ.
DeAndre
Then
Jordan
then
and
why he
Tyson
go win a
Chandler.
championship without Chris Paul? Then why he go win a championship without
You
Chris
talking
Paul?
about
Well, he was
Dallas,
damn near D
Jason
boy.
Kidd?
He was damn near defensive player of the year on the Mavs though. Like what you're saying, bro? Like
Yeah,
his
but how many
defense is
years was
what
that?
is his value.
How many years was that from New Orleans though?
It was probably like
Because
2 years off.
Chris Paul
But
was
he was.
drafted
What
'06.
about when he was on the Knicks? They was
Chris
competing when
Paul
he was
was
on the Knicks
drafted
too.
'06. That's a
You
fact.
no,
He
I'm
was
just saying
compete. He,
you
but
can't say he got Tyson Chandler paid and he produced when he
I'm
didn't
gonna
play
tell
without
you
Chris
why.
Paul.
I'm gonna tell you why. Because the same reason why you sat there and tried to say DeAndre Jordan. What was Tyson Chandler doing offensively after he left for Chris Paul? You answer that because I'm a
But
Knicks
that's what
fan.
I'm
He wasn't
saying.
doing shit offensively.
He didn't get paid for his offense. His defense value is the reason
But
why he was
that's
on course. What you're saying is
no. I
invalid, bro.
understand what you. No, it's not
DeAndre
invalid for the
Jordan,
fact that Chris.
DeAndre Jordan was nothing without Chris Paul. He was absolutely nothing. So that's not a good comparison, bro. Like DeAndre Jordan was damn near 20-10 with Chris Paul and turned into a 12th guy on the
And what
bench.
was Tyson
Tyson
Chandler
Chandler
with Chris Paul?
added value
It's
to
okay.
a championship team, and then when he went to the Knicks,
You
he
can't
added
even
value
tell
to
me
that
what the
team.
man averaged right now, bro. You can't even tell me
Because
what
you're
the man
talking
averaged
numbers.
on
Ryan Artest didn't average much when he went and won the championship. Numbers aren't everything, bro. You can't
What
always
be
look at the
what
stat
do you
sheet.
mean, bro? We're talking about
Ryan Artest
what you
numbers
getting
dropped
paid.
dramatically.
Wait,
I'm saying
hey, what how
you're
do you
bringing up
get paid?
numbers
How do you get paid then? How do you get paid? By the numbers that you
because of
produce,
your
right?
value.
Fuck is you talking about? And how do you bring value through the numbers that
if
you
you're a center
produce?
that blocks
What are you
shots,
talking
it's
about?
because of your value on the court. It's not because Chris Paul had made him average 16 points. You said that like he was out there 20 and 10. He was. It's not like he was
Nobody said
I'm gonna
nothing
throw the
about
Tyson
20 and
Chandler
10,
offense.
bro.
Like, bro,
Nobody said 20 and
I feel
10.
like
You're implying that.
I feel like you're severely undervaluing his defense. Like that's the reason he got recruited
Nobody
by the
mentioned
Mavs.
defense,
Is
bro.
the reason he got
Ain't nobody
recruited by the Knicks
mentioned defense.
afterwards. It wasn't because of his offense. It had nothing to do with how he could catch a lob. That was
Oh
that
yeah, it was
Chris
purely
Paul.
off
Chris
defense.
Paul is not the reason he got paid, bro. That's disingenuous to say about Tyson.
I disagree. Yeah, I disagree. I disagree, honestly, bro,
And then
because at
comparing
his
him to
best
DeAndre
offensively was
Jordan,
with
but to compare him to DeAndre Jordan, what is
because
DeAndre
you but
Jordan is
remember you
nothing
brought up no. You remember you brought up DeAndre Jordan and said, oh,
because
Chris
Chris
Paul
Paul
got
got him
DeAndre
paid.
Jordan. Wait, you remember? Yeah, exactly. So and I'm saying
Chris
the
Paul
same
did get
thing
him
with
paid
Tyson
though.
Chandler. No,
But
my
he
thing
did
is this
nothing without Chris
offensive.
Paul, though. He did
Homie,
nothing
can I
without Chris
respond?
Paul.
Homie, can I respond?
Go ahead.
Are you ready to talk when you saying go ahead? Like, come on. Like I
I'm saying
said,
go ahead and respond.
DeAndre, yeah, but look, like I said, with DeAndre Jordan, he was getting set up by Chris Paul, which I agree with you. I do. And that's the same thing that we can say with Tyson Chandler getting set up by Chris Paul offensively. And remember, I'm talking offensively. I have not mentioned anything with defense. A point guard cannot help a center on defense. My whole point of the conversation is what Chris Paul brings, how he levels up a center. I brought it at the example up with DeAndre Ayton, and the same thing I'm saying with Tyson Chandler. He elevates you offensively. He's going to find you in spots that other point guards are not going to. And that's why I say he got Tyson Chandler paid. He got Tyson Chandler paid because you're seeing what he's doing offensively with a great point guard and what he already is defensively. Does that make sense? What do you think?
Yeah, I'm not saying it don't make sense. I just disagree. Tyson Chandler's
I said, what do
defensive
you think?
value far exceeded his offensive value. So that's what I'm saying. Like you can't use him in the same example as DeAndre Jordan. DeAndre Jordan, yeah, he probably was like he like when he was with Chris Paul, that was I guess the prime of his youth. So he was the most athletic. So he was blocking shots. He was a rim protector at a point, maybe like 2 years. He had a good 2 year run to being a decent defender. But after that, he completely fell off. Like, yeah, Chris Paul added the value to his offense. But why did he not? Why did no one want to recruit him after playing with the Clippers, bro? Like he was Chris Paul made. He was literally Chris Paul made. Tyson Chandler was not that. DeAndre Ayton, I can kind of see where you're coming from with that, but we didn't really get much of his career because Chris Paul came in like his third year. You feel me? So with that, it's like Chris Paul. To me, Chris Paul didn't really up him. He didn't make DeAndre Ayton to who he was supposed to be. Like, yeah, DA got paid, but he was a top draft pick. Like, I feel like the Suns were gonna pay him on 20 and 10 no matter what. But I mean, like I said, I'll throw him in that field of being Chris Paul made because we have seen nothing else without Chris Paul for real. But like I said, like I'm high on Tyson Chandler. I like Tyson Chandler. I love defensive centers who protect the rim, get rebounds. They vocal. You feel me? They can mesh with anybody. I'm not saying that him and Chris Paul weren't a great duo. I'm not saying Chris Paul didn't add hella value because he does that. I agree with you. But and even with Clint Capella, like you saw that when they was out there with the Rockets, or even you could go to OKC. But
So it sounds like
I just
me
don't
and
think
you agree. It sounds like me and you agree with each other, but you feel like I'm giving, I'm not giving Tyson Chandler enough credit. Like I'm
that's
giving
all.
it
That's
too
all I'm
much to Chris
saying
Paul.
for sure.
So I understand
Yeah, because you
what
make
you're saying,
sense.
bro, because he was a great defensive player, but I feel like Chris Paul, like you could be a great player, but Chris Paul will make you shine in places that you didn't know you can, and people will see you and do shit that you didn't know you could. You see what I'm saying? Like if
For sure.
like you know what I'm talking about. I know you know what I'm talking about, bro. So you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like this type of stuff happens when you have somebody like Crunch that devalues what Chris Paul brings to the court and tries to say that John Wall is better all time. You see what I'm saying?
I didn't even hear John Wall. That's crazy, Crunch. I
Nah,
I
he
gotta
said
disagree with that one.
he said I said the only thing John I told him the only thing John Wall did better than Chris Paul was peak high. You see what I'm saying? And I think John Wall peaked higher than Kyrie as well, if I'm not mistaken. But I always think peaks are overrated if it didn't translate to anything. I think it's a great thing when you have like one of your best seasons. But it's like, bro, in comparison to Chris Paul, who's averaging 18, 10, and 3 for like 8 years, come on, bro. You can't get no better than that. Being a number one option, taking your team to the playoffs at all most of your career.
I don't think John Wall peaked higher than Chris Paul. I mean, I
Oh,
think he peaked
statistically?
very high, but Chris Paul's peak. I mean, you got to think about it. He was making all defensive teams just like that's the reason people put John Wall so high because he played defense. But Chris Paul was making all defensive teams as well. He led the league in assists, steals. Like he was no
Mm-hmm.
scrub. He was
Mm-hmm.
getting past the first round in the playoffs just like John Wall, who John Wall only did it once, but even then it's just like Chris Paul has without the injuries. I mean, he gets hurt all the time, but he was still getting out the first round. So I
Nah,
don't think John Wall
he
peaked
been
higher.
playing so much, bro. You know what it is that he plays. He's been playing for so long that it seems like he's getting hurt a lot.
Yeah, for sure. What are you like 17 seasons in? 16, 17?
And a lot of these reels, Chris Paul, if he wins this championship, I'll put him over Ray John Rondo. Matter of fact,
I'm
So,
very high on
so
Rondo.
wait. Why can't he go at number 9? Why
matter of
can't
fact,
Chris Paul be number 9?
I'll put you probably could put him over Nash, and I'm gonna put Nash higher. I don't know why Nash wound up so low on this list. I'm gonna put him higher than that, but
Yeah, I got Nash higher than Westbrook. I ain't gonna lie.
No,
Yeah, I
Nash
got Nash over
is
Westbrook.
below Chris Paul. Below Chris
No, I don't
Paul.
think so. I
Paul
got
wins.
I got Nash
Why?
over.
What does Nash do? What does Nash do better than Chris Paul, bro?
What you mean? Would he do better than Chris Paul?
What does he do better?
He's a better
He
shooter.
doesn't.
He's a
No,
pass.
he's not. No,
passer.
he's not.
He
No,
is a
he's
better
not.
shooter. You said
Just
he's not a
because
better
you're more,
shooter?
I'm gonna tell you why. Just because you're
Uh,
more efficient does not mean that you're a better shooter than the person that's taking a higher volume of shots. You got to think about it like that, bro.
I see what you said.
Nobody's gonna sit here and say Chris Paul is a bad
uh,
3-point shooter, knowing that this
Steve
man is
Nash,
averaging
I agree with that.
what?
That Steve Nash really is like literally like I think he's just a better shooter, like a more lights out shooter. He just did. I think they both kind of shoot low volume.
yeah, Chris
No,
Paul's
they
not
don't.
like Chris Paul not no 26. He never averaged more than 25 in his career either. I mean, he not just out here putting shots up. And if he did, it was right there. Like You know, they both
Hold on.
they both
Bro,
look to
I'm
get the
talking
team
about
involved.
Chris
They
Paul.
both
Think
10
about
assists a
this. Chris
game.
Paul in New Orleans, bro. His volume of scoring, Nash would never think about doing that shit, bro.
He still
Hold
only
on.
averaged
Let me
like
just bring
23 though. I mean, it's not like and Nash still averaged
Yeah, in
like
comparison to someone that's averaging 16, bro.
18, man. Don't be disingenuous. He averaged 18
18.
this MVP season. Man, I don't know, bro. I like Steve Nash a little bit more than Chris Paul. I mean, it's close. They right there, but I don't know. Me personally, Chris Paul, him coming up short in the playoffs as much as he has, and I know injuries has a lot to do that. That kind of like it makes me mark him a certain way. You feel me? Because I
Chris
used to be
Paul.
very high on Chris Paul, but he'd always get hurt, bro, and that's just like Kawhi Leonard. Like
But bro,
I
but
can't
that's what
keep
I
putting
was
you over
saying. He
people when you keep
doesn't
getting hurt.
always get hurt. He doesn't always get hurt though. This is my thing. He only gets
Out of
he's
3 years,
very
he gonna get
unlucky.
hurt.
No, but bro, he's unlucky because he gets hurt at the wrong moments. You see what I'm saying, bro? And it's just like he's
For
been playing
sure.
for so long. Us before Houston, nobody could tell me when this man got injured.
On the
Nobody can
Clippers,
literally
he
remember.
got hurt on the Clippers. He definitely got hurt on the Clippers. Blake Griffin kept getting hurt too. It's not just his
Like
injuries. That's what I'm
2014,
saying.
like 2014, 2012, right?
I think 2012. I don't know about 14 because
Yeah,
the
one of
14
them.
was the year they beat the Warriors, and then I think they lost to the Spurs.
Nah, 14, he only played 62 games.
I mean, in the playoffs, he usually get hurt in the playoffs
In the
too.
play. Oh yeah. In the playoffs, yeah. But that's and I think that's because like I think just because you can be a good number one option does not mean that you could win as one. And that's what I feel about with Chris Paul. I feel like he could win a championship as the third best player, which he was on Phoenix. And I just don't know what went wrong. And this is the Crunch been saying, which is the reason for this whole live, is that this is his last chance.
It is definitely.
But
I mean, but
if we're comparing it,
I was just gonna say, I feel like I agree with you saying he could be the best, or he. I don't know, bro. It's hard because I agree with you, but I kind of don't because that one against the Suns, that should have been a dub, bro. I know he ended up getting hurt, but they shouldn't have lost to
I agree
Giannis.
with you, but it wasn't Chris Paul's fault, right?
I mean,
It was the whole
Chris
team,
Paul wasn't just
right?
out there carrying or doing much either, though. I mean, I think it's a
That's what I'm
team. So
saying. No, I understand.
It's DeAndre Ayton more than anybody, if you ask me. But because
It's
I
Devin
mean,
Booker too. Devin Booker not being able to hold on to the ball.
yeah, but I'm gonna blame DeAndre Ayton because he needed to be a better rim protector. You feel me? Like Giannis averaged damn near 40 on them. Like that's not okay.
Yeah,
So
he just kept running through. And the person that made me the most proud, and I'm not even a Suns fan, was Cam Johnson.
yeah,
He was the reason why I kept thinking like, all right, they still in this, they still in this. But yeah, back to the Chris Paul shit. Like with the 3-pointers, I think Chris Paul's for a career, he takes about like 4 for 37% from 3. You see what I'm saying? So
yeah.
and then let me see. Yeah, and he's taking 10 2-pointers, 10 2-pointers, averaging 51%. And this I don't think Steve Nash is taking that many shots.
I mean, it's not even a.
Chris Paul's taking 15 shots almost.
I
And you
still
know
got
he's a
Steve Nash
playoff
over him.
riser. No, I know, but I'm gonna dissect that shit and find every reason to show you that it's not.
Steve Nash a
I
playoff
respect
riser?
him.
What you mean? Steve Nash is a
Yeah,
playoff riser. He for sure showed
but
up in the playoffs.
no. He could be a playoff riser, but if you're not doing as much, you see what I'm saying? Like if you're taking less shots, which is I think is good. If I'm taking 10 shots and I'm making half, but you're taking 3 and you making all of them, I'm like, damn, all right, that's good, but nigga, I'm cooking. Like I'm taking more shots. Like I'm gonna end up with more points at the end of the game. I'm taking more attempts. I'm like gonna end up being more efficient for the fact I'm taking more shots. Like I'm still trying to understand. I think Steve Nash, his career is so unique that it's worth having a conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think he's clear cut better than Chris Paul. And I don't think it's the other way around either. I don't think Chris Paul's clear cut better than Steve Nash, but I do think he's over him. You see what I'm saying? Like he's bro, the fact that we're even having this conversation and Chris Paul's a miles ahead of time, like better than defender than Steve Nash is blasphemous. Like Chris
He
Paul
had
was
a
never Steve Nash was
he
a
had a stretch
liability on
though.
defense. No, Steve Nash never had a stretch of defense.
No,
never.
not Steve Nash. I'm saying Chris Paul had a stretch of being a good defender, but I mean, if you go look, he was more so just like a pesky, just like how people say Iverson was a good defender. Like Chris Paul was still small. He wasn't out there just stopping nobody. He was just really good at stealing the ball.
He had the motor. He had the good hands.
Yeah,
the
for sure.
hands.
He played defense though, for sure, and he always getting good steals and like
and that's what Chris
fast break situations.
I mean, that's what Steve Nash doesn't do. Steve Nash don't do that.
Yeah, you're right.
You see what I'm saying? And there's two wins to basketball.
Yo, Chris Paul don't win MVPs though.
Yeah, but Chris Paul don't steal MVPs from Kobe. He just straight up loses.
Hey man,
Nash stole it.
Has Chris Paul? How many top fives does Chris Paul have?
Yeah, but he didn't steal it. They gave it to him. They gave it to him, man.
Yo, Dribble John, what you say?
I said, how many top 5 MVP has Chris Paul been in? Top 5s?
As a fan, I would probably say 3. I think 3. I know
2 for sure, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I know 1.
I might be racing with the third one. I think it was like 05, 06, 07, 08, and maybe 08, 09. I don't know. I might be bugging. Who do you think is a better playmaker? Chris Paul, Steve Nash.
Go Nash.
Yeah, I got Nash. I think it's real close though. I mean, Chris Paul's still one of the greatest.
Yeah, I think Nash is a better shooter. I think Chris Paul has better handles though, slightly. But I think Nash is a better finisher around the rim though, and then he's a better shooter, better passer.
But you can't say somebody's a better shooter if I just sat there and showed you that Chris Paul is just as good. He just takes more. He takes more shots. He's taking.
He's not just as good.
Chris Paul is taking 15 shots in a game. He's taking 10 2-pointers and averaging for a career 50%, and maybe 4 3-pointers and averaging 37%. That's good.
It's good, but Steve Nash is great.
It's great because he takes less shots, bro. That has to.
It's not like way less though. It's probably like 3 or 4
so what's the
less.
exact number? Do you have the exact number? If not, I could try to research it real quick.
I haven't looked. I mean, I don't really go off.
No. Too much, no, you good. I know. I try to go off everything. I can't just.
Yeah, I ain't mad at that.
Yeah, like I don't like being that biased type of person unless it's with the Knicks or Bill Russell. I don't want to be biased.
But you a Knicks fan?
Yes, sir. Nice to meet you.
That's crazy. A Knicks fan?
No, nigga, it's not crazy. I'm loyal to the soil.
I feel I'm a Bulls fan. I mean, I never switch up on my squad.
Chris Paul right around that Jalen Brunson range. Right around Jalen Brunson.
I don't like Jalen Brunson like everybody else.
No,
I don't think
I really like him. They try to force him.
It's okay. He's better than everybody on your team. Jalen Brunson is better than everybody on the Chicago Bulls. So it's okay.
They forced him to be like a star point guard.
Yeah, they did. I don't like that he's not on that contract though with the low management.
Yeah, low management. They didn't even put him on. That's crazy. That's nuts. I thought he would at least be on that.
He's gonna be on there next year.
And it's crazy because they said it's 49 players acceptable. If they'd accepted him, it would have just been 50. They should just made it 50 players.
So
that's nuts, yo. They basically say he's not top 50.
Nah, they lying.
Damn.
They lying.
Like he's number 50.
Nah, so Steve Nash for the regular season is definitely like dribble or drown. You were definitely correct about that. He's not taking as much as Chris Paul, but it's damn near. So that was a good call.
Yeah, I be watching. I watched a lot of Steve Nash and Chris Paul, so I know like Chris Paul is not like a high volume scorer. He just has spurts. Like some games, he'll go crazy in the fourth quarter because like he's a go-to guy in the fourth type shit, especially with the Clippers.
But as a playmaker though, I would say that Chris Paul is better playmaker because honestly, bro, the fact that Chris Paul that we've seen with our eyes, eye test, we've seen him literally elevate different offenses with different players, whether it's David West, Tyson Chandler, Peja, or who is it? Freaking Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan.
We started lagging,
I
bro.
don't know. Yeah,
Oh, my fault. Yeah,
Peja, them was his worst years with Peja. Like, right? Peja didn't even play that good with Chris Paul.
I mean, he was old. It's not that he didn't play well. He was old. He wasn't like young Peja,
No,
but you know what I'm saying.
think about it. He won a
He
championship
still
with
took that.
Kidd.
You said what, Crunch?
If you think about it, he won a championship with Jason Kidd.
Oh my God. Listen,
Tyson Chandler did too.
Yep.
No. Not doing that. They won a championship with Dirk.
Jason was they starting PG though. He hooped. He played 35 plus minutes too.
Yo, stop being toxic. Stop being toxic.
Look, the Hornets had David West, man.
Bro,
Baby,
David
he was
West
a
wasn't
baby.
even in his prime though. He was a baby, bro.
He was giving you like 21.
Yeah, he was still hooping though.
Because of
For
Chris
sure.
Paul. 10 of those points came from Chris Paul. So Chris
Them was
Paul
his
set
best
him up.
years.
Jason
Them
Kidd,
was-
well, Kidd was playing was helping Dirk get
No, it was his best years, but he did carry him into the Pacers, which is what I give credit, you know, for him to be able to keep that consistency without a top point guard in the league. You see what I'm saying? And that's
Chris
my
Paul
point.
is 6 foot too. I do enjoy that he's small and does this, so I give you that. Like I do love that.
And you know he's a rebound. He's a better rebounder than Steve Nash. He's a better defender than Steve Nash. He's a better playmaker in a half court setting than Steve Nash.
I don't know.
What the fuck you mean you don't know? What you mean?
I just don't know for sure if he's really like that. Like if he's really.
And I don't know if he's a better playmaker. You could say better passer in the half court, but
no. And
Steve
yeah,
Nash,
I mean, okay. He's a better facilitator in a half court offense.
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. I feel like they both knew how to pick defenses apart in the half court just as well, though. Like they
But that's why when I speak on someone being better than the other person, you won't hear me say, "Oh, Steve Nash can't do this. Steve Nash can't do that." Besides, like the obvious, defense. But I'll try to big up what Chris Paul does. You know what I'm saying? So I don't discredit Steve Nash per se.
Yeah.
But you know, you could think about all the players that Chris Paul has made better, bro. He's made SGA better. You know, David West, Blake Griffin.
I mean, he helped. I mean, all played together. I mean, they made each other better.
You could say that, yeah. You could definitely say that.
I ought to be petty, yo.
I mean, you could, but who did it? Who did it better? Who did it for a longer period?
You know, Chris Paul like that, man. He's like that. Like I said, I think if he wins though, he could I think that'll make me want to put him top 10.
But why is John Stockton top 10 with no rings, but Chris Paul can't?
Oh, and that's what I was about to say. I was about to say this earlier too. So Stockton, he went to the finals with Karl Malone. I look at Karl Malone being on the same level as Harden.
What? But Chris Paul lost to teams that were going to the finals, like Carmelo did.
It is what it is. He played with KD and them just now.
Bro, Chris Paul lost to the San Antonio Spurs. Chris Paul lost to the Golden State Warriors with KD. Why he can't catch a slack the way that
didn't the Jazz beat like Houston was trying to put together a super team. It was a couple people. Hey, what's up, bro? Yeah, not Chris Paul. Hakeem Olajuwon and them. It was a couple people like Barkley. Yeah, they tried to put something together.
Yeah. Yo, you hear me? My mic good or my shit fucked up?
Yeah, you my
good,
brother Post. What's going on, Post?
Profile, it just your profile picture went away, but now you good on the mic.
All right. What up, Real? What up, Dribble? Hold on.
Yeah, so
yeah,
I'm gonna lie, bro. Without
already,
a championship, Chris Paul's top 10 point guard.
you already know what we're talking about, man. Post.
Oh, Chris. Oh, yeah. Oh, you know I'm here for that.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Real saying top 10 point guard, saying over Steve Nash.
I can't go there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Wait.
Oh no, man.
So wait, post. I stated that Chris Paul has been the best player on multiple teams, more teams than Steve Nash. He's a better defender than Steve Nash. He's a better facilitator in a half-court offense than Steve Nash.
I think I disagree on that right there.
The only thing Steve Nash does better than
We all three. Yeah, we all disagree with that one.
Yeah.
In a half-court setting?
Yeah. I don't think you understand how good Steve Nash was in the half court, bro.
Is that dribble?
Yeah.
Bro, you agreed with me before Post got here. Don't switch on me now.
No, I said it was close. I said it was real close.
Check the tape, Crunch.
I did agree with you though.
Oh no. I think it's close too. I think it's close. But
I think it's close. They're both great.
So since y'all think it's close, and I respect it, I respect that y'all even saying that it's close because y'all not being biased, none of that. But you don't think since it's close that the defensive gap puts him over him though? Like since y'all said offensively it's close.
It's like I just can't give it the. When you say the facilitating thing, I just can't give it to Chris Paul. I don't know for sure that he's a better floor general than Steve Nash.
What do you mean? He's elevated different offenses, different systems, whether it was the Clippers, whether it was OKC for that one season, New Orleans, Phoenix. Like, what else could the man do to prove that he's a better floor general? You only seen Steve Nash thrive under the Mike D'Antoni system, which is not his fault. But you know what I'm saying? Like Chris Paul has showed you more flexibility or more ability, more ability to do so under other coaches and offenses.
Yeah, I wanted to ask too, is Chris Paul starting this year or what they doing?
Yes, sir. Yeah, he's the point guard. He has to start. Hell yeah.
I don't he's starting like I don't like that Curry and Chris Paul backcourt. That's nasty. If you're talking about defensive wise, hell no. That's not
better.
Yeah, defensively, I'm with you.
If he'd have came off the bench, he could have been like 6th man of the year.
That's what I'm saying.
Why Chris Paul come off the bench and not Klay Thompson?
It's about the size of the backcourt, bro. That's it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, the size of the backcourt is it.
You want Klay to be able to kind of play off of the other people in the starting lineup.
Yeah, because Klay's not creating his own shot for real or creating shots for anybody else. Like, think about the value you have with a Kuminga, Chris Paul.
And now that's true. And now that Chris Paul in the starting lineup, is Draymond facilitating the offense as much? Like, it's a lot of questions we got to put into. You know what I'm saying?
But remember, when you have someone like Chris Paul and Draymond on the same court playing for the Warriors, Chris Paul does not need to take as much shots. He does not need to average 15 points.
Right.
Draymond Green does not need to average 6 assists. So they can both go down on one thing and level up on something else, whether it's Chris Paul and his defensive order he needs to step up on. Draymond needs to step up on scoring more since you're playing with a better point guard and you are a power forward that can move like a small forward. You see what I'm saying?
I don't know. I honestly feel like Draymond's only value on offense is passing the ball. So I don't see.
You don't think he could give you 20 a game?
20?
Draymond, I mean, yeah, if it was like 2017, maybe, but not
like 2017. I respect it.
Yeah, not
no. There's no way he's averaging.
I just think if you got a pass first point guard, I feel like Draymond see a different side of him.
Yeah. I get what you're saying.
No, I ain't gonna lie. I'll be talking trash.
Because when you watch Draymond, bro, when he gets the ball, he gets this burst of energy out of nowhere to start slashing.
Yeah, I was gonna say
he's mid, bro.
Like, he be finishing and stuff like that sometimes. I ain't gonna take it from him.
But he also blows it sometimes too. Like he's not that good of a finisher. I mean, he's an okay finisher, but I just don't. I give you Chris Paul elevates guys, but I don't know how those two.
No, but dribble drown. I understand what you're saying, but when I hear you speak like that, I see it from the aspect of Draymond trying to create his own shot. You know what I'm saying? but I'm going off Chris Paul setting him up the way we think of the dynamic of Chris Paul and Blake Griffin. Not, of course, not the dunk. Of course, not the dunk.
I ain't gonna hold you either. I forgot about Wiggins. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Mm-hmm.
Wiggins got to start.
Yeah,
Wiggins
he
has
definitely
to.
got to start. Definitely.
That's your best defender. I mean, you
Yeah.
got to start him. Kevon Looney too, though. Like I don't know how you like. I know Kevon don't got to start all year, but that's somebody
I
that's a
can't wait
pivotal
for
piece.
Moses to get more time.
Right,
You said
because yeah, go ahead.
what you said?
Can't wait for Moses to get more time.
Moses? I don't know. He's up and down. He ain't consistent enough for me to be saying I want him on the court with this championship unit. I like him, but he needs to stick to the garbage minutes. Like he not really producing for me. For like I like his game and his play style, but he gotta be a little more
Not,
consistent.
but dribble. I know you like what you just said. You like his play style. So when you say that, I know that you think that he has the ability to end up fitting perfectly with that system. So I
Yeah, but I
think
feel the
that
same
he
about
needs.
Kuminga.
So exactly. So I think those type of players need minutes in order to develop better with the player that they are and how they fit with the team. You see what I'm saying? You can't just strictly stick to garbage minutes because then you're just going to be a role player knowing that you have the ability to be a key player. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference.
Yeah,
You,
but do
you,
you
you
do
see what
you
I'm
really
saying?
want to be dependent on those young guys to win a championship? Like that's
I mean, you
you.
want me to be honest with you, bro? They are your future regardless. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like it is a gamble. So I agree with you on
Yeah,
that part. But it's like, do you think it's a smart investment to start, you know, having these guys wet their feet now? You know what I mean? Get their feet wet now.
Hey, what up, Chris?
yeah,
What's
I
good,
agree.
Joe?
I agree with
What's
Chris
you.
going on? Oh, that's Yancey. What's going on, Chris?
Yes, sir. What's good, man?
I think that's what it is though. Like you rely on the future. So I definitely agree. And I think that they need to force these young guys into a spot where they need to be uncomfortable and they need to be ready to take that next role on. Because I don't know why they traded Jordan Poole, but whatever. We ain't got to talk about that. Like I do think Kuminga and Moody need to be thrown out there, bro.
This is last chance. One more chance and we're done.
That's
One more
funny. That's
chance, boy.
hilarious.
Keep letting Curry get all these damn super teams. I'm tired of this shit.
Oh, yeah, we could talk about
Tired of
that.
this shit,
You think
bro.
this a super team? Y'all think this is a
Bro,
super team?
I don't think so.
Chris
I don't
Paul
think
is
so.
a Chris Paul was a superstar. They
I
always
mean,
say what Shaq
it's a
was.
He wasn't
super.
no
So
superstar last year.
if it's a super team, then Dallas 2011 was a super team. You know what I'm saying?
That's facts.
Because they
That's
had
True.
facts.
so
They
That's
they
you,
stand
you
what D Wade did
you
in his
can't go off a
past
name
and stuff.
value. You know.
Look. Now that I think
Yeah.
about it, they letting Stephen Curry get Chris Paul at the end of his career, but they ain't let Kobe get him.
Facts.
Ooh,
That's
Ooh.
because Kobe wasn't at the end for real. You know, Kobe
ooh,
Yeah,
was really about to win
Ooh.
another championship.
he wasn't even at the
ooh.
end.
Yeah,
Like,
Kobe ended
Warriors
up
just,
getting hurt
no,
after that, but
Warriors just won a couple years ago, just like how the Lakers had just got that ring.
yeah,
Right.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
And
But
yeah,
I feel like
The
it's
last
probably just because.
chance.
Well, I mean, we all know why
Last
Chris Paul didn't go
chance.
to the Lakers.
the last,
Nah, 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 nah. I'm gonna tell
Damn.
you why.
that's
I'm
gonna
gonna
be
tell
it.
you
That's gonna
why.
be a documentary, yo. The last chance.
Yeah.
Chris Paul was on a team that was owned by the NBA. Now, if they sent
That
Chris
is
Paul
true.
to the Lakers, tell me how the hell do they benefit off of that trade?
Right. Yeah, I mean, I
Well, I
see what
mean,
you're saying.
if
But
you look at where the NBA is now, they would have benefited off of it because super teams went up. So it's like
Oh
you
no, no,
pretty
no,
much
yeah, yeah,
stopped
yeah.
something that happened anyway. So I
No,
think
no,
Kobe
no.
Uh,
was a
But
better
but
situation.
in a
it's
business
that
wise, because
the
they
first
own the
I
Hornets,
heard
so
that.
it's just like if I sell it, if I give them Chris Paul, we're not gonna do anything at all for a long time, even though they haven't. But in thinking of how they were thinking during that time, you know what I'm saying? So they're just like, now we're gonna hate, like Crunch was saying, like they basically hated and vetoed the trade. But
But then
I just think it was a smart business.
the Lakers would have been better because remember how the Lakers was real trash until LeBron came over there.
it's true.
The Lakers wouldn't have been like instead of Chris Paul being on the Clippers in LA, he'd have just been on the Lakers and they'd have been more, like relevant until
LeBron got there.
yeah,
That's a good point. That's a good point.
they just been
That makes sense.
he'd have held them over because then you'd have had a young talent coming in or whoever was on the team. Like yeah, man,
But then you gotta ask yourself if Chris Paul goes to the Lakers, do the Hornets get Anthony Davis?
Mm. That's tough.
That's a good
Wait,
question.
Didn't they get Anthony Davis with the Chris Paul trade?
I have no idea. I
Did they
thought
get
they were
that pick?
sitting on that.
I gotta look.
Well,
I gotta go
he
back and look
probably
at
still
that.
would have, because remember he left the Hornets anyway.
Yeah,
So
he
they
did. That's
wound
what
up,
I'm saying.
yeah, the Hornets wound up getting AD because Chris Paul went to the Clippers and then
Did
wasn't
they
on
get
the
that
Hornets.
pick from the Clippers though?
Ooh,
'Cause if they got that
yeah,
from the Clippers, then that's like they wouldn't
yeah,
have they wouldn't have had both of them. But I feel like
yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it would have been good for basketball to see Kobe win another ring, and that's just that simple, bro.
Bro,
Kobe
it doesn't even
getting another
matter. It
ring,
doesn't
6
matter.
of them.
Kobe got another, bro. It doesn't matter because if Kobe won another ring, guess what? It wouldn't hold any weight because people talking about, oh, LeBron was already better than Kobe in 2009. So it
Which
doesn't
is
matter
crazy. That's
if
crazy to me. I don't
if Kobe
understand
got
that.
another ring with Chris Paul. It wouldn't even matter.
It depends because that would have been a 3-peat, right? That would have been 2 3-peats on his record.
Was that
would have
2011 or was that 2012? I couldn't remember.
No, I think that was when
because 10 is when he won.
right.
I think
So,
what post was
10,
it? 2012, where they
Yeah, I think it was
vetoed the
12. I'm
trade.
not gonna lie.
Yeah, I think
it
it
was
was
a gap
12.
in the.
Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah.
But
Yeah, probably
even
Because
then,
I think that was when the Jay-Z 2K was out, right? On my buddy.
Mhm.
that's crazy because I was thinking about
Yeah, that's a
2K too.
See,
That's a
shout
fact.
out to you, bro.
Yeah,
Yep.
I was referencing 2K in my head too. Like that was for sure 12.
Mhm. Definitely.
But
Bro,
nah, I would have been happy to see Chris Paul get a ring. After him coming up how phenomenal he was at that point. To me, he had the best handles in the NBA. Like in like history, to me, he had
bro, that's
surpassed
why he kept doing
Iverson.
nutmegs and shit.
Yeah, he was on some crazy shit in New Orleans. So I did put him past Iverson at that point because I thought he was gonna keep going. And then, like, yeah, bro, I really would have thought
He
that
kept
would have
going,
that
bro.
would have been good for
Don't do
history.
that. He kept going, bro. Don't do that.
Yeah, but I don't
He's
know.
like,
He just kept getting
no.
Bro, he was supposed to go
Stop.
to the Clippers to elevate from what he was already doing. He was supposed to start going
He
to the conference
did.
finals and finals.
He
Like
did.
he never made the
Did.
conference. He never made conference.
Oh, he only made it to the second round?
Yeah, on the
Oh, you know
Clippers.
what it is? You know
Oh
what it
yeah,
is
he
though?
did
Because
because he
remember
was up
we
3-1
spoke.
against what you call
Yep.
it.
He kept getting hurt, or Blake Griffin kept getting hurt.
That's
Like it was
true.
injuries.
Wait, when he lost to the Spurs in 24, it was 2014, right? He lost to the Spurs in the playoffs. But
Right.
that was the second round.
No, because
Yeah,
in 2014 we played the Spurs in the conference. I remember that.
that was
Oh,
conference.
OKC.
Nah, I think OKC made it
Yeah.
to conference that year, bro.
Yeah, we lost them in 6. I remember that.
Yeah,
You
wait,
sure
so
that wasn't the
OKC
second
made the
round?
Western Conference.
Yeah,
You
in
sure that wasn't
2014.
second
Yeah.
round, bro?
No. OKC made the conference in 2014. That
Yeah,
was the
yeah,
conference.
because they beat the Warriors in the first round in 7.
Yeah.
That was like Steph come out year, and then
Yes, it was. Yep.
yeah, and then like Spurs. The Spurs ended up winning the championship, so you can't really you can't be too mad at them losing to them.
That's a good point.
Yeah, that's just like the Crunch. I don't know if you're watching Players' Choice, but that's just like the point that Mars was trying to make about how like just because you lose earlier in the series doesn't make you the worst team if you ended up losing to the champ or something like that. Like much like when Giannis winning type shit when he won his ring.
Yeah, that's a fact, man. That is true. I mean, yeah, well, Warriors, they're gonna be scary. You feel me? Because
I don't think Chris think that.
Hey, Chris, you don't think so?
Chris want them to sign Dwight Howard.
I saw that too on Twitter, bro. I don't know if that's true or not, but hey.
Yeah, they just desperate at this point.
Right.
Desperate. Damn.
Desperate.
Wait, hold on. Wait, Chris, when LeBron got the white, it wasn't desperate. Why is it desperate now?
Yeah, Dwight. I mean, did Dwight really do anything though? Like he was cool.
Man, come on.
Boy,
We not doing that.
boy, let's not do
I mean,
that.
it was the Joker stopper, man. That was Batman. He was
Right.
the only one that could stop
only
the
team we
Joker.
worried about in the West is the Suns, and we really not even worried about them for real. So that's about
Wait,
it.
hold on. Why y'all not worried about the
Mavericks.
Nuggets, the team that swept y'all?
We ain't worried.
Nuggets got worse.
Nah, we ain't worried about the Nuggets. Jokic,
Yeah, I think Nuggets got worse.
Yeah, they got worse. We ain't worried about that.
See, y'all wasn't worried about the Nuggets, and that's why y'all got swept. Y'all need to worry about them.
Right.
That is no cap.
You know what I'm saying?
The Suns too.
That's
The
how
Suns
y'all
wasn't
ended
worried
up
about
in the
Nuggets.
playing tournament.
They getting beat.
And I ain't gonna hold you. It's another team y'all need to worry about too in the West. I'm gonna leave
Ooh.
that one.
I
The
mean, if it ain't the Nuggets,
Is
Mavericks.
it, you talking about the Oklahoma Lightnings?
Oh,
The
oh yeah,
Lightnings?
Oh my
but we
God.
not doing that.
oh nah, we ain't worried about OKC at all.
We not doing that.
OKC is crazy.
Yeah, we get
Listen, Lakers
No
got no
bullshit,
answer for Lou Dort.
Yeah.
That's a fact. That's definitely a fact.
who y'all think gonna have a better record next year, Suns or Clippers?
Suns.
If
Suns.
yeah,
Suns.
Suns
Clippers
do
got too many liabilities.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Man, Clippers can go one of two ways, bro. Best team in the NBA or like 6-7 seed type shit. Like they gotta if they
Bro,
healthy,
that's
if they
so
healthy, they
true.
can be up there.
bro, that might be the best team to never win a championship. The
Yeah,
Clippers.
they roster deep, bro.
The
Mhm.
best team to never win a championship would be the Los Angeles Clippers with Paul George, Kawhi Leonard. Because that duo is probably pretty, like just
Brooklyn Nets
hypothetically
too.
speaking, bro. Bro, think
Nets
about it.
too.
Hypothetical.
Yeah.
Oh, the Net.
Yeah, the
Yeah, I ain't
Nets
gonna
up
lie.
there
Yeah,
too.
the Nets might be number one.
Yeah, they had the greatest
I
trio
forgot
in
about
NBA
that.
only
history.
16 games, bro. Crunch. I blame you and Kyrie. These niggas only played 16
Don't blame
games
Kyrie.
together.
Don't do that.
I blame
All right, so
KD and
Crunch is
Harden.
your fault.
I blame
Don't
KD
blame
and
How
him.
Harden.
you blame KD and Harden when
Because
Kyrie was
KD
the one that
airball.
told him to pull up to the party?
No, because
Kyrie
KD
was
airballed
cooking it before he
that
went
game
down.
winner, and then he let Jason Tatum open for him to win that game, bro. After Kyrie dropped 40, man, that's all they fault. And then Harden left early.
Right. I ain't gonna hold you. I blame Steve Nash. Fuck them. I blame Steve Nash.
yeah. I blame Joe Tsai, yo.
Joe
Word.
Tsai and Steve Nash, you
I
guys
blame Joe
suck.
Tsai. I actually do blame Joe Tsai. All jokes aside.
Yeah, Joe Tsai, we not on TikTok. You was a bitch.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a fact.
Because this year they had a great chance at winning it, bro. Like they had a great chance. He should have just paid Kyrie.
Should have.
Bro, he didn't want to. They don't want Kyrie to feel like he has some type of power. You know what I'm saying? Like if Dribble or Drown, if you wanted me to pay you $50 million for 3 years, and I'm like, no, I'd rather give you, let's see, $15 million for 2 years. You're just gonna look at me like, what? But bro, I want to play for your team. I want to be here. I'm like, yeah, but I think
So
you're worth
you
this.
think the Nets made the right decision?
No, I think they made the piss poor decision. And I think KD and Kyrie made a piss poor decision by choosing the Nets over the Knicks. But that's a story for another day.
Yeah, Knicks probably would have been bad too, bro. Y'all ownership ain't no better.
Nigga, that's not true.
We talking about Joe Tsai. What about y'all owner?
Tell me. Tell me.
Tell me. You know.
No,
you know,
nigga,
you the
you
Knicks, so you know
tell
more
me.
than me.
No, I do. So I want to know what you know. I want to. What superstar have we violated that makes you think
No,
the
that's
same
the
thing would have
problem.
happened?
Superstars don't even want to come play for y'all. Like that's the thing.
Mm.
That's
Yes,
the
they
problem.
do. Yes, they
If
do.
that was the case, y'all would have got KD
Yes,
or
they
Kyrie,
do.
bro.
Yes, they do.
The last
matter of
superstar y'all got was
fact,
Carmelo.
watch this. Check your phone, right? And there's this thing called Google where you just type in Giannis wants to go to the Knicks.
Oh my God, you talking
Google,
about speculation? That's hearsay. That's hearsay, bro.
Bro, what are we doing right now? What
Well, I'm
the
just saying that's
conversation
what
we're
that is.
having is
Like,
hearsay. I'm telling you what hearsay. So let me tell you.
well, we've been talking about Chris Paul, which has already happened.
No, don't move the goalpost. I'm gonna settle it right with.
Oh, you're trying to cake for your Knicks, bro.
No, yeah, I'm gonna still keep going because you started it. So
The
Giannis, Joel Embiid, and
Yeah.
Donovan Mitchell.
Oh nah, you just
Oh
chatting,
my
bro.
God.
Hey, none of these people going to the Knicks.
Check the narratives. That's all I'm gonna say. Check the narrative.
That would be crazy.
Giannis going to the Warriors. You already know.
I ain't gonna lie to Giannis did say
You
that he
believe
wasn't.
that?
Didn't he not pick up
Nah.
like the contract or something?
I don't believe that.
Bro, he's not re-signing with them because they are not re-signing. Drew Holiday is probably gonna retire. I don't see them re-signing Bobby Portis.
Retire? How old is Drew?
Drew, I think he personally wants to retire. Like not nothing with health or anything. I think I heard a rumor.
But you sure Giannis not staying because then he just get his other brother over there? So I'm pretty sure.
Post this, yeah. Why do you think they got the other brother then? to keep him, like really, like keep him, like please don't go, please we'll get the other brother.
He right. Yeah, he right about that. That's no cap. I
Yeah.
agree.
You see what I'm saying, bro?
I think they
Like,
trying to just please Giannis.
bro,
And
like,
let alone they got the other brother, Robin Lopez over
Then-
there too.
oh
They
yeah,
got Robin Lopez. I ain't know that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they got. Wait, they signed
sucked.
Brooke and Robin,
it's like a whole family reunion over there now. Like,
Robin
and
sucked, bro.
Hey,
bro. But I give them credit for trying their best to please the core. You know what I'm saying? I give them credit for that.
nah, that's a fact.
Y'all saw Dame said the Portland Trailblazers said they quitting the trade with
Yeah, they shut down the talks.
shut it
I saw
down.
it yesterday.
Yeah.
And that's kind of messed up because now Damian Lillard is going to be training his replacement.
yeah, that's crazy.
Right.
They'll probably still try to trade him before the deadline. They just saying that.
It depends. It got to be a trade where it's worth it because they didn't want to take the Tyler Hero contract. Nobody wants a Tyler Hero contract for him to go to.
Yeah, they might as well bring Dame off the bench, man.
No.
Well, and start.
So you know
start
what? Wait.
Yeah,
Start
man.
seeing
Just focus on the
Dame coming
future,
off the
man.
bench.
Just focus on
If
the
you got
future,
Dame
man.
coming off the bench, you better put Chris Paul over him on that list. That's all I'm gonna say.
No, because I think Chris Paul should have been came off the bench. But Dame just had his peak scoring season. He should come off the bench, but eventually, though, like as he gets older, if they don't trade him, he should just go to like a bench player, like a 6-man for real. So I think that way they can actually win a championship low key.
To be honest,
You think so?
Like your school turns the corner.
Oh yeah, Scoot something. Boy, that'll be nice.
Well, actually, Dame can just be the shooting guard. Dame can just be the shooting guard.
That's true.
Wait, so what about Simons? What he about to do?
Oh yeah, see
what I'm saying? So
that's what I'm saying.
They're gonna tell Simons come off the bench. Trust me, Dame's not gonna be here for long. Just be patient.
I got to get y'all TikTok or whatever too, because I be going live on YouTube Monday through Friday, and I be needing more people up.
Bet through the net podcast and post freestyles.
Yeah,
so,
Crunch, you too, bro. I really want you to be my like main person. I ain't gonna lie, Crunch.
Yeah, but just let me know, yo, because it's like we gotta start building for real.
I'm telling you, like I see the vision, especially with like, because you do more than just like talking hoops. You actually go out there and hoop. Like I just came from a hoop session myself. I just don't be having like a cameraman or nothing. But yeah, I definitely did like where we going with all this for sure.
Oh yeah, man.
Y'all seen they post, you seen Brian pull up to the high school, man, doing work in the community and shit.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You know I'll be reposting everything I see like that. For sure.
That's just great work, man. Like on and off the court, man. You gotta get it
man.
in.
That's what I'm saying.
Got to get it in.
But that's what I'm saying. If you can't win a ring, you gotta win the people.
Hey, yo.
Nah, but all jokes aside, like that's why I say like LeBron. That's the reason why he's one of my favorite players.
Right,
Like,
and that's what it is. Post like it's the shit he do off the court, bro. He not into like great family. He not into all this no drama and stuff, like no gambling or nothing like that.
Nah, I'm not gonna lie though.
No
I did
gambling?
realize.
Come on, bro.
Nah, I did realize though that the media is very fickle, especially when it comes to LeBron. Because remember when Bronny's first started playing basketball,
right?
And you would see LeBron on the sidelines supporting and gassing him up and all that shit.
Yeah.
The media would make it seem like, oh, he just wants all the attention, da 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 da. Yeah. But my thing, I got upset because I'm like, yo, bro, y'all don't know what it's like to not have somebody there and support you.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So when they do get there, bro, you don't know the type of battery that puts in your back.
Yeah.
Man,
you know what I'm saying? That type of comfort.
He got himself a good wife too. Yeah, he got himself a really good wife.
Shout out to being to keeping your family together and being the man of the household. That's it. That's really what matters.
That's
yeah.
Even Curry don't know. He don't know about that.
yeah.
Hey yo.
Not even what LeBron did like I think a couple months ago. I think he paid for like a few family homes or something like that. They was going homeless or something like that. And it was in school.
That nigga
he paid for their rent and everything. Like, but they ain't talk about it really.
Was that Chris?
Remember he post. They don't talk about it when it comes to Kyrie either.
That's true. That
But the
is true.
thing with
Nah,
Kyrie,
they'll never
like
tell you the shit Kyrie
he's so
does.
flip floppy.
That's a
Like
fact.
he'll do something, he'll like do something
That's cat,
good.
bro. He's all good. He don't do no bad. Kyrie's a saint.
This is what I'm saying.
Not
What
bad
bad does
Kyrie,
Kyrie
but
do,
he
bro?
just flip floppy though.
He's a saint, bro. He does
Wait,
no
wait, wait,
bad.
wait, hold up, Chris. What flippy floppy? What you mean? What's the
You know what
flop?
I'm saying? Like,
And
you
what's the
know,
flip?
he just be when it come to these media and stuff like that, Kyrie just real somebody's personality just throw me off, man.
No. You know what it is, Chris? Kyrie doesn't know when to shush.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, that's the
Like he could be like my thing with Kyrie is that, and I learned this more as an adult. You know, I didn't know this all the time, but you realize that even if you're right, what you're saying is true. Everything doesn't need to be said.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Especially when you're at work. You see what I'm saying?
And I think
So
Kyrie, Kyrie too. Like one thing with Kyrie, I don't know if it's the fans or what, but Kyrie just think he just better than like as a player than he is.
he
Like he
is.
can understand
He
his
is.
role.
He is.
No,
He
he
is.
just is that
Nah.
good.
He is.
If you
He
go
just
to
is that
like this the
good.
thing, right? This the
You gotta
thing.
no,
Hey,
watch this.
Chris,
Look,
Kyrie made
hold
LeBron
on. I'm
better.
gonna say that one last thing. If I'm in the NBA with one of y'all and we got a duo, like we just winning, bro. Don't get the big head, bro. Like hold on, like know your
But
role.
Chris, you're saying don't get cocky, but I understand what you're saying. But look at this: dribble or drown, post and crunch. Answer this for me. When it comes to Kyrie, you know what he does in the court is nowhere near what he's capable of doing.
Wait,
Mm.
before I answer that,
That's
because
definitely a fact.
I don't agree with that. I mean, I don't
You don't
agree.
think so, bro? You don't
I
think
agree
that
with
he
that.
has another
Like
level
Kyrie,
that he's not allowed to reach on the court because he
He
has
ne-
to play his role?
Yeah, he never. It's like everybody. Kyrie's so nice that everybody want to play with him. LeBron wanted to play with him and kind of just ride his wave with him.
Right.
You
but
feel
that's
me?
the
Like
thing though.
that's
Bro,
Like,
like
I
basically
mean,
what it
literally,
is.
I
like,
do
It's
think we
basically
missed
like
out
but
on
that's
who
why I
Kyrie
think
could have
LeBron.
been.
LeBron is the
look at
Jay-Z.
him right now,
Hey, look,
bro.
LeBron
He's
is the
literally
Jay-Z of
awful.
the. LeBron is the Jay-Z of the NBA.
that's like right
Ooh.
now Jamal Murray said, you know what, bro? I don't want to do this. I want to make my own
But
team. Like,
I
bro, like
understand. See, hold on. I'm glad we got other examples like Jamal Murray because this is the thing. Jamal Murray wasn't a rookie of the year. He hasn't made no All-Star teams. Kyrie was doing all that.
Wait, not just that. They weren't calling Jamal Murray Jokic's son. They weren't out here saying that Jokic was his daddy and that.
Right,
And you feel me? Like
Like
that was
how
the
has
narrative, bro.
Jokic been a good
Jokic
father
gives Jamal
influence
Murray.
to you, Jamal
Jokic gives
Murray?
Jamal
How
Murray
has Jokic?
credit. No, but Jokic gives Jamal Murray a lot of credit. He be saying that he leads them and all that.
Yeah, but the media doesn't bait him into causing a riff in the locker room where they like, yo, Jamal Murray, how has Jokic been a father figure to you?
Yeah, that's
How
true.
good of a
Definitely, bro.
father
The
figure?
media
You know what I'm
attention
saying?
that
That
LeBron teammates get is
causes
unmatched.
tension.
That's true.
Yeah, exactly. J.R. Smith.
think about it,
J.R.
bro.
Smith gets all the
Davis,
hate for
J.R.
that
Smith.
situation.
All the hate. Why
Anthony
LeBron?
Davis
Why would
got
he
to
pass
deal
the
with it.
ball?
AD
But
probably thought he
nobody
deserved
says nothing about George Hill missing.
J.R. Smith was
Nobody
blackballed
says
out the
anything
NBA because
about
of that
LeBron
shit, bro.
James possibly
Yeah.
missing a free throw even before that. That put them in the position that they was in. Like it's
I
weird.
look at it with Brian, right? I look at it with Brian like if I was a teammate and I'm on Brian's team, LeBron can't fuck up because he gonna get us to the finals. It's on me to not fuck up. Like the pressure is on me. LeBron gonna get us to the finals. Let me just do my job.
Well, but
Let me
the thing is,
that's like Kyrie. Like I got Brian on my team. I'm going to the finals. Let me at least just do my job.
Hold on. Hey, Chris, let me ask you this question, right?
Yeah.
So Miami and them was getting old, right?
Right.
So you think if LeBron would have stayed in Miami for one more year, do you think they'd have went back to the finals the year after that? The year after 2014?
Yes.
You think so too?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. In 2015, I think it would have been the Heat versus Warriors. No bullshit.
Nah.
So hold on.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
Chris, if that's the case, why he leave Miami?
Because, bro, like you just said it, they were getting old.
I be asking, no. You're lying.
So
I'm gonna cook you, Chris.
So when your team get old, it's time to bail on them.
Because Chris
Hold
Bosh
on, Crunch. Let me ask Chris a question. Chris, answer this question for me. You said that the players were getting old, right? So the year that he left, they were injured. The season after that, they went to the playoffs as soon as they got healthy. But then they said D Wade is old, right? And his knees is shot and all that. So help me understand. Why did they make the playoffs? Why did they make the playoffs in Chicago with Paul Gasol, Rajon Rondo, and Jimmy Butler with D Wade?
Because reals, this why it was unfinished business in Cleveland.
Yeah, I'll give you that. That's
It
different
was
though.
unfinished
You didn't
business
answer that the
week.
first time. I
It
agree
was
with
hold
that.
on. If it was unfinished business, right? See, this is why I'm just so confused. This is the confusing part, right? So, right. So why did he leave the first time in Cleveland?
Because it was a lot going on that team and that organization.
But he came back.
Because he knew he wasn't gonna win like that.
Like whoever that dude name was, Dan or whatever, like that.
Yeah, Delonte West,
so
but he came back right?
Yeah,
He came back
he
when
hated the
Cleveland had
organization
enough
so bad
pieces.
that he came back.
He came back when they had enough pieces for him to actually win than when he actually had when he left.
He came back
But it's
because
interesting.
he saw Uncle
Because
Drew
Kyrie.
cooking. That's why he came
He
back.
saw Kyrie. He saw
'Cause
Kyrie, right?
He
But when
came back and
Kyrie
he saw
left,
Kyrie, no doubt.
but
And
when
not
Kyrie
just
left,
that, he saw the draft assets that they had as well, and he knew.
But this
if
the
I
thing
come back,
though. Hey,
we can also
wait,
bring somebody else.
Hey, dribble to drown. Just like, but look, Kyrie left and they went back to the finals. So did he actually leave Kyrie to win?
Chris, wait. He Kyrie left. He went back to the finals, and guess who was on that team?
Who?
Wasn't D Wade on the 2018 or 2017 team? But his knees was shot. But his knees was shot in 2014.
He was
right. Reals.
No, Wade was gone by the playoffs. I thought they got rid of Wade.
When Kyrie left, he replaced Kyrie with D Wade again. So he went back to D Wade.
No. Wade was gone by the playoffs though, because they brought in Rodney.
He realized he didn't want to play with Wade no more.
Yeah,
and then it's just like
I'm not gonna lie though. I think
player gets to do stuff like that.
Yeah, I think two things could be true though. I think he also went back to like bring a chip to his hometown,
right?
But like he also went for Kyrie too. I think two things.
Yeah, no, like it's like he knew that if he went to Cleveland, he can win a chip for his hometown, and that would be amazing.
Right. Yeah.
And so he did it.
I don't think he would have went back if a talent like Kyrie wasn't there.
Bro,
and not just that.
He would have back if it was Dame Lillard. He would have went back.
Well, yeah, like I said, a talent. Any talent.
Yeah, but that's the point though. Why do you need these guys as superstars in the league? It got to be another superstar all the time. You already had Kevin Love.
Kyrie wasn't a superstar.
Yeah, that's the thing.
No. But what I'm saying,
and Kevin Love was
real. He was projecting.
Look, though, right? Like think about it like this, right? Even if you call him not a superstar, when you play remember when the All-Star game used to kind of be competitive?
Yeah.
So you got the starters on the East and the West, right? Kyrie was the starting point guard on the East like for multiple years before LeBron. Well, I mean that year before LeBron James came. Yeah. And so ever since then, that's pretty much how it's been. Nobody else has really gotten to the point to where like if Kyrie's healthy, they're not going to start over Kyrie in the All-Star game.
Yeah, and not just that.
I mean, okay, so but what other superstar point guard was there during that time that could take his spot?
I mean, you still had D Rose, John Wall. These guys were coming off the bench though after Kyrie.
Yeah, they was on the bench. They had people out there. Rajon Rondo.
And what year we talking about? So I could say
it was 2013, 2014. 2013, 2014. That's when Kyrie first. Yeah. Now I'm not saying that just automatically make him better than everybody else. I'm just saying
but that holds weight.
Yeah, like you see that he's a rising like he's literally gonna be because even look 10 years later he's still relevant as Kyrie Irving as we know him.
So that makes him a perennial all-star.
Right.
Not a superstar.
But it's just like everybody else is
Kyrie did not lead
like
his
John
team.
Wall is out of the league. D Rose out of the league basically. No, but I'm saying like what I mean is that I think LeBron knew how nice Kyrie was going to be in the long run, regardless. Like, because players in the league, they can see somebody play and just know he's going to be nice. Like, remember, even a couple years before that, he was crossing up the whole USA team, and he was a rookie of the year. And
Crunch,
it was always destined for him to be a superstar, regardless.
But you play basketball, and
he was
everybody
projecting
that plays basketball on the panel, you know this. It's not about me looking for the nicest person to play with. It's looking for someone that fits well with me.
Yeah,
and I think Kyrie fits perfectly with LeBron James for the fact that he can play make, score, and not only just score, be an efficient three-point shooter.
Yeah, but think about a guy like Kevin Durant. Like you know how they say KD can play on any system. I think you can put Kyrie on any system.
I agree
for the same reasonings, because he's an efficient three.
So why he didn't thrive last year?
No, hold on. I got you right here. Hold on.
What do you mean? He had his best year last year.
That was about that. What I was just about to ask.
No, hold on. This is the thing.
How did he not thrive last year?
Statistically. Hold on. I'm talking about the results.
No, hold on. That's the thing. Hold on.
Mavericks. What happened?
Hold on. The Mavericks don't have a system like they really.
And they traded away their depth too.
And you just can't sit here and talk about he fits anywhere and then say, but
no, I got you. Hold on. I'm about to ask you a question, all right? Because remember, Kyrie has just as much success on Brooklyn as Kevin Durant. So at the end of the day, everything
That's
that people slander about Kyrie on Brooklyn, we gotta ask KD the same thing. Because they got just as much.
Brooklyn is a sticky situation, so you'll never hear me bring up Brooklyn.
See, but I think the Mavs being a
my
sticky,
problem is the
remember the
Mavs.
Mavs
I think the
traded.
Mavs is a sticky situation.
Yeah, the
and
Mavs.
Kyrie
Yeah, they
played
didn't
well
even
for the
start.
Mavs.
Yeah, they didn't start Christian.
No,
Wood.
my
They
brother,
didn't
he
give Javale
played
McGee no
well,
time.
but
They
if
didn't
he
ma-
fits
they-
in well, why didn't he like with the way that he fit with LeBron? Why didn't fit like that with Luka? For the fact that even
Bro,
though
were you
Luka's a better
watching?
shooter,
Because
look.
first off, Luka didn't adjust to Kyrie, so that's what I'm saying. Like
no,
Kyrie,
the only thing that
you
Luka
can't you
didn't
can't say
adjust to.
you can't say because the
But why
team
he
Bro,
is
gotta
why would
adjust?
Luka need
Why
to adjust if Kyrie could fit in
why
any
he
system?
gotta
What, like, y'all
adjust?
not
so
hearing
you
what y'all
saying
saying?
you saying Kyrie
No,
got to
it,
adjust, but Luka doesn't?
No,
but
no.
look
My
That's
though,
thing is,
Luka's
Kyrie.
squad.
No,
listen
but this
Yeah.
what
to
I'm
me.
saying though,
They
right?
traded away with
No, but
The
LeBron. It was a
original
new
statement
team.
that
No,
Crunch
but
made
real.
was that
No, but
Kyrie
real.
could
This what I'm
fit in
saying
any
though, right?
system. So why does Luka need to make any adjustment
No, but
if
real.
Kyrie
This what I'm
could fit in
saying.
any system?
Kyrie
Go ahead,
still
Crunch.
he still averaged 27 on 50, 40, 90 almost. So he still fit in. It just with all the pieces. Now listen, we just gonna see this year because I don't want to get to making excuses.
So
We
wait, do
definitely gonna
you
see
feel
this
like last year y'all just didn't have enough pieces, right? Like, because I agree individually, as a player, Kyrie definitely did cook. I understand, but for him to step up and be that quote unquote superstar that people say that he is,
Not even
do you think
individually,
he needs
bro.
better players around him in order to take his team to some type of
Go
success
ahead,
by
No,
himself
I seen what he did. I
or
seen
with
what he did with
Luka?
a rookie. I seen what he did with a rookie Jason Tatum.
bro. Nobody would have sent that took that Mavericks team to the playoffs, bro. Like if you put
If
any
you say
guard,
that, bro, I
Trey
respect it.
Young,
If you say
Damian
that, I
Lillard,
respect it, bro.
because they traded away their defense in depth. So when Kyrie came in, he did mesh well with those guys. He looked good with Tim Hardaway Jr. He even looked good with JaVale McGee, a guy who was getting no minutes with Lucas.
Yeah,
So
he was
so
No,
winning.
and
Remember,
actually that
I
offense
remember
was
that.
being run. And when I watched the game, I
and
know
offense wasn't
Kyrie
even
was
a
running that
problem.
offense. No,
Right.
when I watched that, Kyrie ran that offense better than Luka.
Yeah,
I
I agree.
understand that.
Yeah.
I understand that. But my thing is that if you fit so well as a player with other teams, then you and Luka should be thriving for the fact that he's even a better shooter than LeBron.
now I'm
You
gonna
see
just
what I'm
ask
saying?
you.
Like they should be the
Now
best
look, I'm gonna
duo.
ask
They
you
should be
like
the
this though.
best duo on the fucking.
But Luka's
ask
not
you
a
like,
good off baller though. He has no off ball game at all.
yeah, look, I'm gonna ask you like, I think this year just watch out for him.
So Crunch, let me ask you a question.
Yeah,
Hey, Crunch, I feel the same
you-
way about my team. That's how I feel. Just watch out.
Do
the
you
Thunder.
think
That's how I feel
the
about my
Mavs
team.
should run a 7-second offense, or like what do you think they need to do
Yeah, like
aside from getting better players to
I think they should just
actual contenders?
run something like that, run some type of motion offense though, because Kyrie is good off ball, but I feel like they never really look for him off ball. Like KD knows where Kyrie wanted the ball at and stuff like that. Luka kind of over dribbles, and he got tunnel vision. Now Luka is still nice though. I think like him getting in shape, he's gonna be moving around a lot more. That's why he's getting in shape.
Bro.
Yeah, I
Because
feel
Luka
like
got the
I
skill
feel
set.
like
Luka got the skill set to do it.
it was a point in time where Luka was the best player in the league.
Luka
Yes,
does
if-
have
if
the
you-
skill set, but his pace ruins the offense, and I think it helps the defense more on the other end. You see what I'm saying? Like
if you
Luka
look at
literally
Luka's
slows
play
down.
style,
Mhm.
if you look at Luka's play style, bro, I'm telling you, once they start clicking, bro, it's over.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
it's literally gonna be over. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Like, just
Especially
think about it,
yeah.
bro. Like, once they start clicking, it's over.
It's literally Luka, because Luka's still ascending. Luka got
Yes.
new heights to get to, regardless of who's gonna be on his team. So Kyrie, man, Kyrie and Kyrie. All I know about Kyrie is when the games start getting more intense, and it's really time to hoop. Kyrie be right there with anybody. He don't.
Right.
He's not like
And
you don't need Kyrie to pick for me to pick it up. Kyrie gonna be right there
Yes.
being aggressive.
And
with
you can honestly say that once they get hot, that's two players you cannot stop. You just can't.
Yeah, facts, bro. Facts.
Post, let me ask you a question.
It's scary, bro.
I heard Crunch earlier talk about how Chris Paul and Steph Curry and the backcourt, that defense is going to be shit.
Yep.
Is that going to be just like Kyrie and Luka, or do you think Kyrie and Luka have better defensive skills than what
You
the
see
Warriors could
that's
bring?
like both of them is like they both bad in my opinion, so I don't really like comparing it. I think they
No,
both.
that's what I'm saying. I think the
But at
fact
least
that
they got.
Curry and Chris Paul at the
But
end of their
I do
careers,
think
Kyrie
Luka and
isn't.
Kyrie is better on defense than them two.
Yeah,
I do think that.
because I'm about to say at least they got more size.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
And
have
they
the
got Grant
size
Williams,
and they
though.
have the motor, but
They
they
got
just
Grant
need
Williams.
the
Grant Williams
ability.
played great defense on KD when he was playing against the Celtics.
Yeah.
He did do that. I remember that. Shout out to Grant Williams.
Yeah, but they got Grant Williams, man.
Yeah,
Yo, it's
bro.
JP. What's up? What y'all talking about?
What's up, bro?
Yo, what up?
What's
We
going
just talking
on?
about the males and shit. Man.
Oh yeah, we was talking about. I mean, Chris kind of wanted to slander Kyrie a little bit, but this is the main topic of the stream right here. It's Chris
The
Paul's last
last
chance.
The last chance,
Right.
bro. Like I said yesterday, they're gonna call Curry to go if he makes Chris Paul win the ring.
So
bro.
wait.
Oh,
So
yeah.
let me ask you. You said they're gonna call Curry the GOAT if they do that. So let me ask you a question. Do you think Chris Paul is a top 10 point guard without a ring?
Yeah, I'll say top 10. It's the 17. It's a troll from.
I can't put him over Walt. Yeah, I can't put him over Walt Bridge. So, Reels, let me ask you this. What is it gonna take for Curry? What can Curry do anything to be in the conversation with Brian, basically?
Yeah.
That's a great
And,
question.
and
Yeah.
what can and
Yeah.
what is it? What is it?
All he needs to do is win 2 more chips and 1 more Finals MVP.
Oh, okay.
My bad, my
he ain't
phone
gonna do
died.
that. He not.
I'm not
do
gonna
that.
lie,
But-
We ain't
but-
worried about that.
Mhm.
Real. I think he need 2 more Finals MVP.
Yeah, we ain't worried about because he ain't
But
gonna do
remember,
that.
but remember, the Finals MVP is very tricky. You don't have to be the best player to win Finals MVP.
Yeah, it gets
You know-
overrated sometimes because
Nah,
Kobe
yeah,
should at least
yeah.
have like 3 finals.
No, it's situational. It's situational. I don't think it's overrated. I think it's situational because we understand what Iguodala and Kawhi Leonard brought to their championships.
Yeah, for the impact.
When you see what I'm saying, bro? And then you see when Kawhi wins Finals MVP as a Raptor and what he won Finals MVP as a Spur.
Yeah.
Two
yeah.
different
Yeah,
things. Where he's the best player and the most
Yeah.
valuable.
Yeah, I get where
that
you're coming
Iggy
from,
Finals MVP kind of I
But,
don't
like,
understand.
That fucked Curry
they
up.
make
No.
That
I
fucked
could
his
explain
whole
that.
legacy up.
Iggy's Finals MVP.
I don't think
is
it fucked
that
his
if
legacy
he
up.
would have never got on that court, bro, those Warriors are not winning. Why? Because of
Yeah.
Iguodala's defensive
Hey,
presence.
real, you
His
know
I
the
ain't gonna
crazy
lie,
part
bro.
is
I
too,
probably would
though.
average 40.
The
Probably.
crazy part is too. I rewatched that series like last month. Draymond actually played the best defense on LeBron. I kid you
That's
not.
true. That's
I
true. But
kid
do
you
you
not.
feel like you saw a defense did you see a difference?
But then again, yeah,
Iggy got on the court.
Iggy was giving you offense that Draymond wasn't. So
Because look at it like this. When you got Draymond on the court, isn't he exhausting himself without
Yeah.
Iguodala on the court?
that's true.
But when
I agree with you.
Iguodala's there, he brings a two-way skill set where everybody can just breathe because he's gonna score and he's gonna play defense.
No,
You know
I'm
what
not
I'm
saying like I'm not saying Draymond should have got the Finals MVP. I'm just saying like he was the one doing a better job on LeBron that whole series.
Oh no, yeah. I agree with you. I'm just stating like for the community itself to understand what Iggy, what values did Iggy bring to that Finals MVP or to that win in general.
No, that's a fact. That's definitely a fact.
Because I'm not gonna say, oh, he was the best defender. No. It's that
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
everything the whole room changed when he got on there. Because now it's like, oh, it's over.
That is true.
You know, like our energy just like got saved because now we don't have to do too much on the offensive end with only 2 players, and we don't have to do too much on the defensive end with Draymond and Bogey. You feel me? Now we can just spread it out towards the middle with Iggy. So I think it's a great conversation to have when you go over the shit that you actually watch. So I got you.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, Chris, Curry only needs 2 chips, a Finals MVP, and just the best player on that other chip.
Yeah, and like when he wins, like the other team can't like be injured though. Then we actually like give him legit credit. Because what if like for example, like who's in the East, like a Giannis, Tatum, or like Joel Embiid gets injured in the final? Yeah, you said Hawks, get out here. Well, what if like they get injured in the finals? Like, will we give?
I actually got
credit,
the Hawks
bro?
on.
Real.
How about I think the injuries should not affect the ring, but because like when we look at Toronto, I give Toronto so much credit for their having one of the greatest playoff runs.
Oh yeah, true for sure. Yeah,
I do too.
You know what I'm saying? And we all know if AD was healthy, the Raptors is not winning. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we just can't look at the finals. We have to look at the journey and totality.
Even though
your production of Curry,
even though I know the regular season. Go ahead, bro. You got it.
I just said that's why I don't have 2016 very high because the playoff run wasn't all that.
No, I understand that. I definitely understand that.
Yeah.
Well, I have a question. Who do y'all like? What do you guys think is the best version of Curry? Like 2016, 2021, or 2022? Individually,
2021 was something different.
I got 16.
If
right
I
there
gotta pick
16.
one though,
Yeah,
I'll
Curry
probably go
got stronger
16 too.
too. I'm just
Yeah,
saying, can
he
absorb
was
That was
contact.
crazy.
Yeah.
bro. That
Yeah,
when
this
he
is
came
tough.
down and pulled up on OKC, man, like
And
that's
we
when
just
I knew.
He was having a Westbrook year in 2021. He was like the 7th AC, and he still was top
yes,
5 MVP.
yeah,
Bro, the
it's
Chris Paul, he
crazy.
didn't even need a 3, bro. He just had to like tie it.
Yeah,
He
he
just
just
pulled the
walked
trigger.
down like fuck it. Bang!
Yeah, that was wild, bro.
You're talking about
Bro,
OKC?
speaking of
Yeah.
that, I
Oh yeah,
look
no, that was insane.
That
That
was
bro,
just
didn't.
I
crazy.
remember I saw that live too. I was tight.
I just knew they was winning the ring after
Yeah,
that. I was like, God, damn.
bro,
Oh, you talking about that half court
Hey,
shot, bro?
yeah, that
Yeah.
lucky ass shot.
Bro,
Some of
I've
that
never
was heavy.
seen, bro. I've never seen one video edited so much, and like, bro,
Oh my
like
God,
the
bro.
internet
They,
went
they,
crazy
they
with
got
that.
they got angles you can't even imagine. Like, oh, that shot.
Angles, the effects, like,
Right.
bro,
hey,
They got
remember,
people in the 50th row with angle. Like, bro, what is we talking about right now?
bro, on God,
They
bro.
got everything.
bro, you remember the classic matchups between like KD and Russ too for OKC? They were going back at it.
Oh, bro, I'm
Yeah,
telling you,
Russ
bro, every
confidence is
time the
going
Warriors
up.
and OKC played, I was there for that. Every time.
Russ is going Super Saiyan mode, bro.
Yo,
Yeah.
Post, what year did D Rose get hurt?
Twice. He got hurt 2 times. It was
2011.
The first time. The first time.
2011.
2011.
Okay. So
Yeah.
2011, D Rose was the best point guard in the league.
Yeah.
I would say so, yeah.
Yeah.
I would definitely say so.
He carried the Bulls to the number 1 seed for sure.
So let's say it would be D Rose, John Wall.
I got Chris Paul over John Wall.
Oh yeah, D Rose, Chris Paul, John Wall.
Mm-hmm.
What was Darren Williams doing at that time?
Oh
He
yeah,
was on the Nets, I think. I think he
Darren
was on the Nets.
Williams. Darren
was
Williams
on
was
Brooklyn.
definitely better than John Wall.
Yeah,
I think he
I'll
was
take
Definitely
Darren
better than
too.
John Wall. It was him and Chris Paul as like best point guard in the league, but I think Derrick Rose crept in there when he won that MVP.
Yep.
Yeah, but I feel like I think Darren Williams did good in Brooklyn, but maybe after his like the year that Kevin Garnett got there, everything started to go downhill.
Brooklyn was 12, wasn't it? Wasn't it like 2012? I think that was the next year.
Yeah, 2011, 2012, something like that. Yeah, it was transition.
Right.
Because he was already done with Utah. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, no disrespect to slashers, but they don't really like last long anymore. I just realized because you got Russ,
Slashers,
Wall,
as
That's
in
true.
point guards,
yeah,
point guard
like,
slashers.
yeah, compared to like the
Mhm.
skilled one like Dame, Curry, Kyrie, Luka, Trey, etc.
What about De'Aaron Fox?
Darren Fox. Ooh,
Fox.
he's a combination of both, I would say.
He is.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
But
I
like,
agree.
you know, get where I'm coming from because John Wall, his prime didn't last long. Russ just fell off. Rose, and maybe
Yeah, it's
John Morant
those
because John
point
Morant
guards
might
that
get
try to
injured.
play like they bigger than what they actually
No,
are.
let's not say he might get injured.
Honorable mention Blake Griffin too as well. Yeah, we'll see.
Fact.
That's a good point. Who do you think was more skillful offensively, John Wall or Brandon Jennings?
Brandon Jennings was a bucket. Let's not
I
forget.
gotta go Wall though.
Yeah, Wall. I'll take Wall too, but Brandon Jennings was nice.
Brandon Jennings didn't have no IQ, to be honest. Like his IQ never grew as he
That's
did.
His
skill kept
IQ was
getting-
questionable for sure.
Yeah, his skill will get better, but he just
Bro,
wasn't.
that man was like,
wasn't
play make.
decision
No,
maker.
nigga, I make plays.
Yeah,
Like,
facts. He was like Iverson, you know. He just wanted to get a bucket. Wasn't nothing more.
Yo,
And people don't talk about John Wall defense that much either. Like John Wall used to
bro,
lock
his-
people too.
That's because he got hurt.
His chase down blocks, bro.
Yeah.
My God.
Bro, his 360.
Bro, he had one of the
was different,
highest
bro.
motors. He had one of the highest defensive motors, bro.
Exactly. That's
Like, I don't know where he got all this energy from.
Bro, I'm not saying he was on Wade's level, but he was like blocking shots like D Wade.
Right.
That's a point guard.
But he wasn't that much of an explosive dunker as he or people try to portray it. Like, he gives off that energy like he dunks like Westbrook, but he don't.
All right, cool. Rank this from best to worst. You got Rose, Russ, John Morant, and John Wall for like most explosive point guards.
Russ won.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm taking Russ. That might be a little biased for me because I'm an OKC fan, but I'm taking Russ.
I got D Rose number 1. I ain't gonna lie.
I mean, yeah, Rose.
I think it would have to be Derrick Rose, John Morant, then Russell Westbrook, then John Wall.
Whoa. Post,
I think-
Post, how you feel about Ja over Russ, man?
I
Hey,
think
what he said?
I don't like him.
It's
he
debatable.
said most explosive.
Yeah, rank from best to worst. You got John Wall,
Ja.
Rose, John Morant.
Most explosive, like
Westbrook.
You think
them
Ja more
20.
explosive?
Yeah, like
I think D Rose
Nah,
is the most
athletic.
explosive.
Yeah.
I think
I ain't
Westbrook
gonna
more
lie,
explosive.
Russell Westbrook literally has messed up his thumb for how explosive he is.
that's what I'm saying. It's like when Westbrook dunk, he taking the rim down. Like it's something else, bro.
I don't know though, bro. With Ja Morant, it is it's tough.
I think Ja Morant
Ja,
just jump higher. I don't think he
yeah,
dunked as
Ja
aggressive
just
as them.
he
Yeah,
just
Ja
Nah,
do
Ja
do
Yeah,
that.
Morant,
I agree.
is
For the
not
vertical.
scared about
Yeah,
catching the body. That's why.
his vertical is just up there, but that's
Yeah,
because he
Exactly.
jumps so
real. That's
high.
true. That's a
Yeah,
fact.
he
That
like
Bro,
Westbrook
Yeah.
is
how many
going at
times
your
does
body.
Russ posterize Rudy Gobert now? Like,
Westbrook and
Mhm.
Rose
like
was
10
going straight
times?
at your body.
No. Rudy Gobert has been posted. I think the person that posterized Rudy Gobert the most to me is Andrew Wiggins.
Right, bro.
Maybe
Rudy
I'm
Gobert,
bugging,
he always on a poster. I don't know why. It's just
Because he
bro,
played
but
defense.
Wiggins,
Sad.
When
I
you play
feel like
defense, you get
Wiggins
dunked
has
on.
got him on while he was on the Cavs, while he was on the Wolves, and maybe as a Warrior. I don't know. But
I can't
yo,
really blame him because the perimeter, like defenders for the Jazz, was like not as good. So like I see why he got posterized.
bro, he would literally be the only one in the paint running around in circles. Like,
Yeah, he the only one that played defense, so it's bound to happen eventually.
and it's funny that you say that because Utah's defense was never that trash, bro.
Because
And
of
it's
him.
crazy how they
Hey,
drafted their
I
best
tell you,
defensive player.
I tell you this too. When Rudy Gobert was off the floor, they was at the bottom of the league. As soon as he went on the floor, they was number one.
Literally,
Swear to
there
God.
was
Oh
a
yeah,
bottom
didn't
three.
y'all had
You cook?
like OKC as the favorites, being the Jazz with Russ, Paul George, and Melo, or do you have the Jazz with Jaren Fox? I bet Mitchell
Yeah,
and Rudy
Mitchell.
Gobert.
I mean, I had OKC going into it. That was after his MVP season. Paul George was looking like MVP. For
I ain't
sure,
gonna
I had
hold
them.
you, bro. I had OKC sleeping.
Yeah,
Not
for
even
sure. I didn't even think it was gonna be
Sweeping?
close.
Damn.
Yeah, I agree.
I
Bro,
did. I'm not gonna lie to you. I did.
that Utah team was not supposed to make no type of noise.
Wait, wasn't that Mitchell's first year or second year?
It was his first year. That was rookie
Oh,
season.
his
No, that was
rookie?
rookie season.
Look,
Yeah.
that wasn't even the year they was a number one seed. That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, nah, I don't think that they should have even won a game on Paul George and Westbrook.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, man. Yo, Chris here? Nah, he left.
Yeah, I think Chris just left.
I wanted to ask him a question. Hey, Crunch. Ooh-wee.
Where Crunch at? He keep trying to dip on.
Yeah, correct.
Hey, Crunch. I wanted to ask Chris before he left, bro. I wanted to ask him about that LeBron trying to get Steve Nash in 2011. But he left too early. I'm gonna find it though.
I never heard that before.
Oh yeah,
Really?
that's a real article. That's a real
Yeah,
article.
it is, bro. I was just reading. I saw that. I thought it was fake, so I looked more into it. I was like, "Oh shit, this shit true." And there was a whole tweet on Twitter about it. Like LeBron had a tweet on it. Like it wasn't fake.
Yeah, not at all.
I'm like, damn, that's crazy.
I mean, but Bron has came out and said he wants to play with the greatest players. Like that's just what it is.
Yeah, I
you know?
said that. Yes, he has.
Yeah.
We're knocking for it.
I'm not even gonna hold you. You saying that is probably the reason why he wanted to play with Kyrie.
Yeah, he knew Kyrie was gonna be great. Everybody did.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I say. Like
but
you say he wasn't a superstar.
He said that.
Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Go, keep going. No, go ahead.
He also said Bron.
You said he wasn't a superstar, but like at the end of the day, much like I mean, I'm not gonna say Curry, but Westbrook is a good one. Like coming in, these guys were D-Rose, they were projected to be, you know, like by year 3, they weren't superstars yet, but people like stars amongst the league knew these were the guys who were next.
Yeah,
So,
they
like,
were the most talented. They were the most talented.
So I agree with you. Him want to play with Kyrie, like you can see why. If you want to play with Steve Nash, you see what he's trying to do. Like you want to.
You see what I'm saying, Crunch. You see what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
Bro.
Steve Nash, Wade, Bron,
bro, Steve Nash and Kyrie got footwork that other point guards don't have, bro.
Yeah.
And the efficiency.
That tweet said that he was like, yeah, and help each other win our first ring.
Help each other win our first ring, bro. That's what it said.
It's like that's the way how he goes about winning these rings, but then he'll turn around and then still brag like as if he like, yeah, yo, I did it, and it's just like, man,
that's what he did to Dwight, right?
I want to ask y'all a question too. If Kyrie and Andrew Wiggins stayed in Cleveland again, say LeBron never came over there, what you think they would have did? Like in terms of winning, what you think? How far would you think they would have went?
They could have gotten that team can get to the like they'd have been hitting the semifinals. They probably could have touched the conference finals at one point. But my whole thing is, I think they would have made like a trade eventually, I see they just trade and get somebody like Sabonis or like
Right.
or like I don't know, just like a good power forward, and then you know what I mean. LaMarcus Aldridge come over there. Yo, I mean, damn, they couldn't go to the finals. Like, yo, the East was weak.
It
Yeah,
was.
they
If
were.
LeBron would have
They
left
still
it
would have
even, if
had
LeBron would have just left
Anthony
everything
Bennett.
even, we don't know what would have happened.
I think he has a better career than Dame has. Like
Yeah.
if he stays in Cleveland this whole time, and we talk about all these players the same, I think he's like not. I'm not gonna just say he wins a ring because a lot goes into that, but I definitely think he would have been capable to have
But
been the
Yeah.
best player
What
on the
if
championship team.
does he
hey,
get
what
an
if
MVP?
so
Does
what
he
if
get an MVP?
what if yo, hey, what if
I
it's
don't know.
Kyrie and Andrew Wiggins, right? And then what if Bam Adebayo want to go over there or he get drafted there or something?
Oh
Yeah.
my
Or what if
God.
they get Karl Anthony Towns in the draft? You
You
feel
see
me?
what I'm
Somebody
saying?
who's from the
That's
same
a
place.
good point. That's a good point.
That's fire.
Anything
Just
could have
random.
happened.
They
Anything could happen
already
if Brian
elite.
doesn't come. Yeah.
Oh,
Hey,
But
I was about to ask
I
Real
see
this
Kyrie.
question. Hey, Real, where do you have Kyrie ranked like 2015 through 2016?
Somebody as a point guard.
As a
Yeah,
point guard for that year.
or like a top, like overall in the league, like we're like
Honestly,
top 10.
bro. Honestly, during that year, I had him number 1 or 2. But speaking from now, like right now, I would say he was probably like he wasn't better than Curry, but during that time I did. But I don't think he was better than Curry. He was probably top 3. Top 3.
but
That's bad.
another thing is the thing about Kyrie and Wiggins that would have been because remember John Wall and Bradley Beal was doing like making a little bit of noise. So Kyrie and Wiggins, remember they was 2 number 1 overall picks. So them 2 on the same team become something
Y'all
that like
forgetting Anthony Bennett.
yeah,
Yeah,
Anthony
they
Bennett
fucked
was a
up with that.
bust.
They fucked up with that.
Yeah, and he had Tristan Thompson.
They had Tristan coming off the bench for Varejao. That's a fact.
Like,
Yeah,
bro, they could have been
TT. He was the
solid,
They
pick.
still
He got
they
picked
still
after.
had Dion
But
Waiters.
that means if
Yo,
LeBron
Dion-
they had Waiters.
Dion had to go.
yeah, they had
Dion had to
Waiters.
go. I ain't gonna lie. Them two didn't play well together.
Oh yeah, and mind you, Kevin Love would have like a better like chance to be the best version of himself.
Hey, see, look,
than he did.
I was
Nah,
gonna say that
you can't
too,
have
but
Kevin Love because Andrew
well, yeah,
Wiggins was.
would Kevin Love be over there?
Oh yeah,
No, he couldn't
that's what I'm
be.
saying.
They
Yeah,
traded
that's what
Andrew
I'm
Wiggins for him.
Right.
Dion
They
Waiters
traded
would have had to
Wiggins
go.
and Bennett.
Yeah.
They traded both of them to the Timberwolves for Kevin Love.
Oh yeah.
But I guarantee you that Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving would have been in the MVP race if LeBron would have never teamed up with them.
I think Kevin Love for sure would have had an MVP year that next year if he never went
Kyrie
to the
too,
Cavs.
bro. I'm telling you, bro. He's like
Well, you said Kevin Love and Kyrie?
I don't think
both of
Kevin.
them.
I don't think Kyrie
Both of
would
them.
have. I don't think Kyrie
Let me tell you
would've.
why. Let me tell you why Kyrie. Because
Yeah,
if the man was able to produce almost 27 points and 6 assists next to a man that's averaging 30 something and more assists, what do you think he's gonna do by himself? You see
29.
what I'm saying? Especially with less scoring options than what LeBron actually needs to win.
And I
So his
think that
production is
I
gonna
think that
go
the
up.
MVP is I think they look at the entertainment value too. So with Kyrie, he's the most entertaining player to watch, basically. Him like him and Steph at that time, it could have like a lot of point guards round up getting it, like D Rose,
Even more than
Steph,
Russ too as well.
Rush, yeah, like I mean Harden. So I think Kyrie got an MVP game.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I guess if you're saying that the Cavs stay together and they start winning games, then yeah, I'll give Kyrie.
Oh yeah,
some
yeah.
MVP
They would have
nod.
had to be like a second seed at least, first seed.
Yeah, you feel me? But other than that, I don't know. Like Kevin Love was already like that was the year before that was the year he put up 30 and 30.
Yeah.
And
30 and 30.
But my
Yeah.
brother, he was putting up the 30 and 30, but the man didn't even make the playoffs.
Not one
Yeah.
time.
Ever.
Western
Not
Conference
one
was
time.
really tough at that time, though, bro.
Oh,
Like,
you're right. You're right.
Yeah, the Western Conference was not easy at that time. So I mean, I'm not knocking for that. His team wasn't that good, but I mean,
I
you
feel
see,
that,
Nah. He had a team. He had Ricky Rubio.
saying, I
He
feel
had
like
Kevin
he had-
Martin. He had Karolinko. He had a couple pieces, bro.
I mean, I ain't gonna say they was complete trash. I'm just saying you competing with the stacked West, bro. Like it was at least 5 teams that was guaranteed to make the playoffs, and then not just, I don't know, bro. I just feel
No.
like
You're cooking. I agree with you.
feel
But
like
to me, to be an eighth seed, though, I think with Kevin Love's production, he should have been an eighth seed, like Chris Bosh was on the East with the Raptors.
Hey, Dribble, what's your team, bro? I never got your team.
I'm a Bulls fan.
Okay.
And wherever Kyrie go,
I respect that.
Your medical staff sucks.
I respect that.
our whole front office sucks. the Bulls whole front office. I actually don't blame. I don't blame us
Your
for
front
Lonzo's
office
injury.
is cheap, bro. Your
I
front
actually,
office is cheap.
I actually don't blame us for Lonzo's injury. I think that had a lot to do with personal choices that he made early in his career. But and then
That's
like
a good point. That's the first time I heard that.
I mean, it is. You know, he signed that shoe deal, and he even said that he was breaking out of his shoe every game, having to switch shoes at halftime. So like that had to have something to do with it. And then it's just how he plays too. I mean, it was. I'm not saying, and not that I'm just saying he just has a degenerative knee. That's something that you can't really choose.
Yeah, it's like a disease, bro.
Hey, speaking of that, like, what are your thoughts on Stephen A. Smith making a false statement that he could have sit down, and then Lonzo Ball followed up like sitting down, like talking.
He said, "I like you, man. What are you talking about?"
Bro, who are your sources? Who are your sources?
Yeah, he just want to be first. He does stuff like that all the time. I haven't taken Stephen A. serious.
And then bro said that MJ texted him at 5 a.m. about the Magic Johnson.
I saw that junk too, bro. I was like,
yeah, I ain't gonna lie, that was a lie, bro.
That shit pissed me off.
5 a.m. in the morning, that's crazy.
5 a.m. is crazy. Like,
bro, I remember when KD was like when Russ was probably like a rookie or maybe like their second, third year together. Stephen A. would not stay off of KD, bro. And KD would fight back, and they would just go back and forth, bro.
And I kid you not, bro. Real. As soon as KD went on First Take, after that, Stephen A. was straight meat rotting. Ever since.
I was talking to Max too as well.
It's but post Stephen A. is that dude that'd be like, listen, I'm gonna say this. You say something crazy, I'm gonna text your mama. You gonna text me sorry.
It's crazy. It's like, and then you look back at it like, even after LeBron won the 2020 chip, he's like, I still think KD the best in the world. Like, even me as a KD fan, I'm not saying that. That don't make sense, bro. That don't make sense, bro. You can't just come out and say stuff like that.
Or you know what it is, though? These media members are weird. Like Shaq, where they be like, oh, I'm going to slander you so you can get better. Right. I mean, you could do that, but you better off doing that to the person's face than on the freaking media.
He even admitted that he had beef with Kyrie.
He did, right? He said it's personal. He said that. It's crazy.
He said it got personal because it got there between him and his dad.
He was talking to on Shannon Sharp on the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, y'all never heard him finish talking about it. Like he was talking about how like
but he said that that they squashed it because they spoke to the pops and all that.
For sure.
But you know what I'm saying? It's just.
I mean, if you hear the way he speak about Kyrie, bro, that shit is some of that stuff be uncalled for.
Bro, he said he didn't think that it'll go there, and we went there. They did.
Hey, look, I knew he was on some bullshit. When Kyrie take the vaccine, he was mad as fuck. He was mad as hell. Aaron Rodgers lied about taking it. He was quiet as a mouse.
Yeah, but you never heard him. You didn't hear him say anything about Brett Favre. You didn't see him talk anything about Brett Favre, though. You see what I'm saying about that whole scandal shit?
Yeah, so he was biased.
But they will make a whole segment with Malika Andrews about Kyrie.
Malika Andrews.
See what I'm saying? No. Malika Andrews is the devil. Okay. Mm-hmm. And I see past her bullshit. As a black man, and any of y'all that are black men, y'all see past her bullshit. Y'all know there's an agenda.
I definitely, because remember she brought up I'm not gonna bring up the case, but y'all should know what it is. They was having they was having a normal conversation. All of a sudden, she just brought up the case for like no reason at all.
But then they'll say that this is what Stephen A. said.
Right.
She was just doing her job. She had to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Stephen A. literally said if she don't do it, she get fired.
Yeah,
that's basically what she said. I mean, what he said. But look, if y'all look up, I don't know if y'all heard of the guy named Carcino. This guy named Carcino, he did a video on Malika Andrews and he basically really going in depth on the research. When you really look at all the real research on Malika Andrews, man.
She's shady, right?
Huh?
She's shady, ain't she?
No, what's that? Oh yeah, hell yeah, shady. Yeah, shady. Yeah, no, it just some in-depth stories like going back to her childhood. And
wait, hold on. What's his name again? I'm gonna watch
Carcino.
Carcino.
You probably seen him. He be
How you spell it?
Shout out Carcino. He be trolling about LeBron a lot. Well, he really believe it, but it's like he do talk mad shit about LeBron. But he got a little YouTube.
How you spell his name?
Karceno. I had
Yo,
found out
Crunch.
about that. I be watching Kwame Brown stuff. He was on Kwame Brown show.
Yo, Crunch.
Yo,
Did you ever answer my question where you was where we was talking about Chris Paul and they said that if he would have went to the Lakers, Kobe would have got another ring, and then I said that it wouldn't matter if he got another ring and a Finals MVP because people were already putting LeBron over Kobe in 2009. So tell me, when did LeBron James become a greater all-time player or a greater player all-time than Kobe Bryant?
to me, I don't think he did. They just started calling him that. They started
Well, it
calling
was
that
that
after Miami.
it was the Nike propaganda too. Nike
He
was pushing
wasn't
them at each
greater,
other.
but he was better like 2011 through 2012. Not all time. But I
But
feel
then
like
So, but what was the moment that
what it
I'm
is
putting
his
LeBron over
longevity
Kobe?
started.
When
His
would that happen?
longevity started stacking up. You kind of seen his longevity start stacking up, and just the way how he plays. I think people what it is they always thought he was better than. That's the thing. I don't be trying to take away from people that got LeBron over Kobe because a lot of people always
interchangeable.
the people that had him that got him over Kobe. A lot of them did always have it like that. Like they always thought he was a better player than Kobe. Period. So with the longevity into it, and then the fact that he got 3 rings and then 4 rings with no he didn't have no Shaq. You feel me? A lot of people just think that his career is just greater.
And like you showed in one of your TikTok videos, Crunch, LeBron said in 60 Minutes that not once but twice he said Kobe was the best player in the league as well.
Yeah, he did. He definitely did say that.
Yeah, it's just like annoying that like people like act like they're not in like the same universe when at the same time millions of fans, Hall of Famers, and current players too have Kobe like top 3, and they act
I feel like
it never happened like back in the early 2000s, which it did. Like, come
I feel
on,
like
let's be for real.
I feel like it's more Bron fans that try to make it seem like it's not close than it is the Kobe guys. Like Bron fans make it seem like Kobe shouldn't even be down there top 10. You feel me? And I just don't see how it's not close. Like obviously, I do have Kobe over Bron, but I do think
I'm
it's
gonna be
right
honest,
there.
bro. I used to keep Kobe out the top 10 until I educated myself. You see what I'm saying? Like I know Kobe, but then those minor, like those technical minor details that you didn't know, that's why I try to weigh everything out even if I don't know it today, I would like to educate myself so I can sit there and change it and update whatever I feel with my list. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think it's that first stunt with Shaq that people misperceived that Kobe was just like some role player or something, and in reality, he was like they don't win those championships without Kobe. Like
here's the biggest lies that Kobe haters say: number 1, inefficient; number 2, ball hog; and then number 3, selfish.
Yeah. Facts.
Yes, and he has the second most assists from a shooting guard. You see, those were the details that I had to educate myself on because I thought he was
by
a
the way,
ball hog too.
Shaq left the Lakers not because of the beef; it was because of money business deal to Miami.
Yeah. Lakers didn't want to pay him. Yeah,
exactly. So like that's a lie. Where they say, "Oh, Kobe ran Shaq out of Lakers," that's a lie too as well.
I mean, I guess in a sense he kind of did because they ended up paying Kobe. So it's like they didn't want to pay Shaq because they wanted to pay Kobe.
They knew Kobe was going to take that step, being a better player.
Because he kind of already was. So,
and the work ethic, Kobe was being better.
Yeah. I would have paid Kobe too, for sure.
Yeah, so Kobe became like the best in my opinion, like 2003.
Right.
He had a hard lead to compete against too. I think that's what people forget.
Exactly. He was against Paul Pierce, Tracy McGrady, T-Mac, Allen
Tim
Iverson,
Duncan,
Ray Allen.
Yeah. The talent was stacked.
Yeah.
It
was stacked.
Mike Bibby, Chris Webber, Gary Payton. You still got players.
It's at least like 15 to 25 guys that were like all.
Bro, by the way, did you guys ever think that Tim Duncan was better than Kobe too?
Yes, I do. But not better. I don't think Tim Duncan was better. Well, let's say from 2003, right? Let's say 99. The moment he was drafted, Tim Duncan was better. When he was drafted his rookie year, yeah, and he did have a better rookie year. Unfortunately, Kobe was on the bench, of course. But to maybe 2003.
Okay. So,
and I think personally, Kobe became the best player out of maybe KG and Duncan, 2006 to 2011.
Oh, okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I think Bron was number 1 in 2011. I ain't gonna lie,
no. But you're talking as an individual basketball player. But if you take that and the accolades that come along with it, nobody was in the league greater than Kobe because Duncan didn't even get his fifth ring. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but my whole thing,
That's a fact.
like I look at it like I feel like you got to use hindsight a little bit sometimes. Because let's say if you give Duncan, like Kobe was in his prime in 01, but even if you say Duncan was a higher ranked player in the league, I think that version of Kobe in 01, he's just better than Tim Duncan.
Yeah.
How?
Like he's just better than Tim. I mean, for the same reason. All right, so like
individually,
even if you look at later on, the reason why you would put Kobe over Tim Duncan at that point, I pretty much think he's the same player in 01. And like it's the same reasons why that you would have to put him over Duncan in. Like just as a player who's a better player.
And people don't add the context that the Spurs were always a great team, never bad, never had a reason, made the playoffs for 22 consecutive years. And
that's true. That Tim Duncan always had a good core around him, but we all know that none of them were top 75 players. So they were just players that fit well in a system that was set up by Greg Popovich. But without Tim Duncan, that system is not working. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when we talking about players that he had, bro, when he went with Tony Parker, all right. So let's say 99, 2003, 2005.
Yeah.
We can't really give credit to his teammates aside from like David Robinson and Bruce Bowen and maybe Manu towards like 2005. But even then, they were young. They were young as fuck, like not even 2-3 years in. You see what I'm saying? So that's more credit to Tim Duncan being the best player on the championship team.
True.
Now, I understand that Kobe Bryant was the second best player on the championship team when he was playing with Shaq, but he only did that twice out of the three. I mean, let's say three.
Yeah,
But
another time.
Yeah, 2000 he was the second best player, but let's say 2001, 2002, he was literally the 1B, in my opinion.
1A, 1B, like Curry.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, in my opinion.
He had another finals appearance too, against the Celtics. They lost, but that's still credit too.
But when you look at Tim Duncan, who did he have that was his 1B while he was winning the championship? Nobody.
I give it to you.
Nobody.
I'll give it to you with the first few, although he did have great players around him. But the last two, or the first three?
Oh, no. The last one. I give you that.
So.
Wait, I have a question.
No. The last two, let's say 2007, because that's what you're referring to.
Yeah.
Tony Parker was not the best player on the Spurs, bro. That's lies.
I disagree with that. But the fact
but my brother, do you see a difference between the most valuable player and the best player on the team? Because I think Tony Parker was the most valuable player because Tim Duncan focused more on defense, even though he was still producing offensively. He was the best player on the team, even though Tony Parker had the advantage with the team that he was going against for him to produce with his scoring. You see what I'm saying? Like, so it's like you could be the most valuable, like Iguodala, but that doesn't make you the best player on the team. Steph Curry, Tim Duncan. You see what I'm saying? But Kawhi Leonard, I give you that. Tim Duncan was not even probably the second best player on that team, but he was the best defensive player on the team, if that makes sense. Like, aside from Kawhi Leonard, like Tiago Splitter was not a better defender than Tim Duncan. I'm sorry. Boris Diaw was not a better defender than Tim Duncan. I'm sorry. There was no other big man on that team that was anchoring that defense like Tim Duncan was, besides Kawhi Leonard, but he was a wing defender. You see what I'm saying, bro? So Tim Duncan always brought value to his championships,
Yeah, of course he
and
did.
it was the best player on the championship team 4 times out of the 5 that he won. In comparison to Kobe Bryant. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I think Tony Parker deserved Finals MVP in 14 as well, but that's not.
Oh, that's a hot topic, but I see what you're saying.
Hey, I have a question. So, this right here is like a common sense hypothetical. So, like, let's say if Kobe Bryant was in that system with the Spurs, like, do you think he would succeed, like having 5 chips too? With Greg Popovich?
I don't think so. The reason why is because David Robinson was towards the end of his career. So when Duncan got drafted, I think David Robinson only had a good 4 years left. And those 2 years out of the 4, the first 2 out of the 4 were one of his best defensively in regards to just being a second option. You know what I'm saying? Not him at his best, healthy. Just after an injury, the most you can do is just be the best type of defender that you can be as a center, and that's what Duncan Robinson was. I mean, excuse me. What am I saying?
David
Robinson. I'm saying Duncan. I'm saying something wrong. Yeah, David Robinson. So
And Kobe definitely
With Kobe being there, I think he could be the best player on that team, but I don't see the same success happening because that system was built. How many championships? I would probably say
3 or 4.
Two.
I think
Two at
4.
the most. Two the most.
I think
because I'm gonna tell you why. Because of Tim Duncan's defensive presence was
think about this.
Just as important.
What if Kobe has a big man though? Like
the Spurs knew how to build around the stars. So I definitely.
But that's what made them so special when they won with David Robinson. There were 2 big men. You see what I'm saying? And both of them still couldn't handle Shaq. You see what I'm saying? But it's like those David Robinson and Tim Duncan, bro. What rebounds are you getting? There's a reason why Shaq never let him rebound. Those 2 type of dudes on the same team. That's crazy. You see what I'm saying?
But like I said, they wouldn't. The people who they got, they wouldn't have been getting the same people if Kobe was the guy they got in 9-6 because.
So they would have been building around the team differently. So, but that, my brother, is very hard for me to answer because I wouldn't know who's around him. I'm just going off who Tim Duncan had, and I don't think Kobe being there instead of Tim Duncan would be the same success. You see what I'm saying? Because it's a different fit.
No, yeah, I don't think.
I'm talking about if Kobe had talk about like Pau Gasol, like as a power forward in the center and an on
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You draft differently with Kobe and Tim Duncan as your best player. Like that just has to happen that way.
Hey, Dribble, I agree with that, but I was gonna go to 05. I'm saying like if you take Tim Duncan out and put Kobe in, I think the Pistons win in 05. I don't see Kobe leading that Spurs team past them 05. Because if you got to remember what Tim Duncan did on defense in the paint, he anchored that defense that whole series.
Oh yeah,
like, that's the reason.
We also have evidence that Kobe was going to play bad against those Pistons. So I mean, I can't argue that.
Exactly. See, right?
Yeah. And then you got Ben Wallace, Chauncey Billups, Richard.
But I do agree. They definitely. If you build a proper team around them, then you don't know what could happen.
Yeah, Spurs good at drafting, so I think the team would just look different.
I agree with that.
Wait, real? So you think Tim Duncan had a better decade than Kobe, or what? 1A, 1B, or you got Kobe?
No. I think Kobe. Tim, I think I'll give it to Tim Duncan. He ended up with more league MVPs, more finals MVPs, right? No, wait. No. I don't think he got more finals MVPs. No,
they both had 2.
Well, I think it's the same.
They both had 2. 2000, 2010.
No, wait. No, I think it's 3-3.
Nah, Kobe only won 2 finals MVP.
Oh yeah, bro. Because I'm talking about 99. Yeah, I'm talking about the lockout. My fault. So from 2000, so then 2 finals. They both got 2 finals MVPs.
They both.
One has more league MVPs. Tim Duncan has more league MVPs. I think he has 1 or 2, right? Or I think 2.
Tim Duncan got one more all defensive too. He got one more all defensive.
He got one more all defensive. What is that? 16 or 15?
We just talking about the decade. So.
15. Oh no. Yeah, 15 in total, but
yeah. Kobe
was robbed with some MVPs, bro. Respectfully, some MVPs was robbed.
And I would like to say, and I would like to say that Tim. I know everybody talks about the level of competition, right? The level of competition, but think about the centers and power forwards Tim Duncan had to deal with.
That is true.
I don't think it was as good as the guards that was in
there. So watch this. Tim Duncan literally had to deal with 4 out of the top 5 power forwards all time: Dirk Nowitzki, Kevin Garnett, Karl Malone.
I mean, I can't argue that.
But you see what I'm saying, right? But you can't do that with Kobe. D-Wade.
Kobe played some great players, though.
No. I know. Paul Pierce, but he's not top 10 at his position.
But then again, D-Wade and AR are both top 5 shooting guards, though.
That's what I'm saying. It becomes an interesting conversation because aside from AR, and you see, and then on top of that, when he was going against AI, he had the better team. He had the best player on the fucking league.
I feel like the name game is hard to play with guards because that era of guards, it wasn't big names that were good defenders. Like they had some that was just that. I mean, it was. I think that 2000. We talking about the 2000s to 2010, right?
Yeah.
Like I said, that wing, Kobe had to be guarded by wings and guards. So I mean, personally, I just feel like it's pretty. That's one where I can't give neither one of them because they both had very high levels of competition.
Nah, because Jason, he had to deal with Jason Kidd. He had to deal with Mitch Richmond. He had to deal with a couple. He had to deal with
Tony
a couple people like
Josh
Tony Allen.
Guard up on him. Like it's that's what I'm saying. His name.
You feel me?
We also said Paul Pierce, Ray Allen, T-Mac, Prime Melo as well.
You feel me? Bron.
I know, and then it's like I could say Alonzo Mourning,
Yeah, Alonzo was there too
Fucking
for Kobe.
Ben
I mean,
Wallace.
not Kobe, Tim.
Big Ben.
Yeah, I mean,
You
like
see
I
what I'm
said,
saying?
they
Rasheed
both had
Wallace.
that's why I said that era was just great on both ends. I can't just give it to Tim Duncan or give it to Kobe. Like I think that's just something where
Interchangeable, you know.
yeah, that's not a decider for me, you know. And I mean, I
But
think
you
it's
want me to
really
tell you
close.
why? It's because the reason why I bring that up is because Tim Duncan was the number one. I
Number one,
understand
what?
Kobe
You talking about the best
produced.
big?
No, the number one on his team, the best player on his team.
Oh,
That's what I'm saying. So it's like when you're the best player on your team and you're going against this level of competition in comparison to Kobe Bryant, who's the second best player and not the primary focus. You see what I'm saying?
but Kobe wasn't no regular number 2, bro. Like you know, like you talk about being a
But you
number
gotta
KD
2.
remember he
when
was
he
drafted 96. So at what like for the year 2000, I'll give you that.
Yeah,
I'll
like
give you that. In
from getting
2001,
drafted,
he
he
even
was.
got better. In 2002, he got even better than that.
Now,
So
what
I'll
I'm
give you that.
saying, you talk about the 2000s, like that's him. He got better every year from there, and like I said, he's not no typical number 2. He goes to a number 2 and
Yeah,
is a number 1. So you know, I
that's
don't
true,
know.
bro.
Hey,
That's true,
some
bro.
fans need to not acknowledge that, like, some
And not
players
even
take
that. Kobe
time to get
produced
better.
excellently while he was losing.
Yeah,
Produced like crazy in the regular season.
like 06, he was like he averaged
Oh
about like
six, 07, bro.
34,
05.
Like
35.
dropping
Yeah.
50-point games left and right.
And Tim never had to go through that rebuild. You know what I'm saying?
But shit, I think that Tim Duncan, Kobe Bryant conversation is very like closer than what most people try to act like it's not.
Fair enough.
Because what Tim Duncan did to the Spurs is the same shit that Larry Bird did to the Celtics. Take a team with a negative record and flip that shit. Now I understand they had the negative record because David Robinson was injured, but it still happened. And D-Rob never came back the same. So
Yeah, I feel like that was a hard one to go off of too, because not only was he hurt, but the year before that they were a top team. So you feel me? Right. The 2 years prior to Tim Duncan coming, they weren't no lottery team. They weren't no losing team. So it's hard to gauge off of that. But I do feel what you're saying, especially with the comparison to Bird, because you know, I feel like people knock Magic a lot when they should be knocking Bird the same amount for playing with great players, because that team that Larry had was amazing, bro. Like he played with
true, and they built it around him too.
for sure.
They
Yeah, for
did.
sure.
They sure did. Definitely did.
And when they knew he was up, they were like, all right, let's get Bill Walton on the bench. Let's start McHale. Let's get Dennis Johnson.
Dennis Johnson,
Crazy.
Finals MVP. Like, come on, man.
Crazy. Like what?
I
Bro, I
said,
knew him for being a Celtic before I knew he was a fucking Finals MVP, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, Dennis? Yeah, nah, that's no cap.
Mhm.
I don't get how some people still think that Magic is better than Kobe. Like, can someone tell
Magic,
me?
No. That's a conversation. Now I got
yeah,
Kobe higher,
Magic can be better than
but
Kobe.
Magic is like especially for the fact that hypothetically he did get like 4 years stolen from his career.
Wait, who was
You know
that
what I'm saying?
Who was that said that? Who just said that?
Jay.
Me, real.
How old are you, Jay? Nah, I know
Uh,
that. I know you, real. How old are you, Jay?
I'm 20.
Hold on, my
Okay,
headphones
I
got
can
me. That's
understand
the
why you say
wrong
that.
time.
You
Yeah,
kind of
because
had to like really like watch Magic and understand his impact on the game, not just the game of basketball, but his team and how much he impacted his team on winning. So I can
that's
understand
true.
why
Yeah,
you
I
would
was
say
gonna
it.
say, like, what exactly does he do better besides like passing / playmaking on the court?
But like he
Because
does it so well that it propels his like I don't know, bro. Like that's it. I mean, I can't even sit here and cap to you. He didn't play defense well. He wasn't a great shooter. He was an average shooter. He was an average defender, but he play makes so well that
Yeah.
propels him ahead of a lot of guys.
It's like the way he gets everybody on his team involved is like on another level that can't be replaced.
He was a vocal guy too. Like
Yes, he
his
was.
team bought into him for sure, and that's
Yeah.
something that you need. You know, I think people
that's
forget.
true. Everyone has a different type of leadership. So yeah,
Yeah,
Kobe had that too.
I mean, Kobe would. If you look at what Kobe said to Ron Artest after they lost Trevor Ariza and got Ron, that should like give you that should gauge you what it meant playing with Kobe, and that like everybody wasn't gonna be able to play with him. Like,
Oh yeah, everyone needs a different type. Like some might want LeBron, some might want Magic, or some might want Kobe. So I get where you're coming from on that.
Yeah, like I hoop real life. Me personally, I probably would have thrived with a guy like Kobe. You know, I love people that push me when I'm on the court because I push them. Like even if you better than me, like that's why I like Kobe so much. He doesn't care that he's better than you. He's just as equal if you work as hard as him.
Yeah, man, I'm not gonna lie too. Like if I'm at the basketball court right now inside the gym and like, I'm looking at Magic and Kobe, and I'm choosing the captain, I'm going with Kobe, bro. Ain't gonna lie. I'm choosing like any day. Respectfully.
Nice. I'm not mad at that.
I'm not like no dunking person though. Like if I was athletic and could do that, I probably would have chose Magic because of how we push the pace. But
Yeah.
you know, I just know bro, Kobe like my all-time favorite player other than Kyrie.
But
And Kyrie
but
is only my favorite because of Kobe, really.
but what do you find more impressive? Someone that can average 35 points in a season, or someone that's responsible for like 40 points? They give you 20, but then their assist causes 20 more points. What do you find more impressive?
The second one, because I'm a point guard, so I find a huge value in playmaking. You know, like that's something that, like I said, once you get guys to buy in, not to say you can't do that with your scoring, is just a little harder. And because you know when you taking all the shots, all these guys feel like they earn the right to come to the league too. So Kobe did have a bad taste in his mouth. Like people didn't like Kobe before he died. Just being honest, bro. Like he was hated by a lot of people, and even people across the league used to say like it'd probably be tough to play with him, but me personally, I'm always higher. I'm always gonna be higher on like smaller guards. Like I know Magic's big, but he played like a smaller guard just with how he push the tempo.
I feel like it's going to be more easier to fit with Kobe than Magic because like especially in this era, like you have to like shoot like as a player and stuff. So I don't know. And plus, like Kobe is like what was I about to say? Like
Kobe's a fucking dog, bro.
Yeah, his journey was like more impressive.
That's why I like Curry's journey so much. Like
y'all hear me?
Yeah, I hear you, bro. You kind of muffled.
I'm on the way to work. I'm gonna have to wrap it up.
I bet. I might start a live up. I'll let you.
I'm gonna go listen to it, bro.
Yeah, y'all tap in with me so I can get y'all stuff because I'm gonna start sending y'all this link when I go live too.
All right, bet. All right, nice talking to Crunch, Real, and what's your name again?
Dribble.
Dribble. All right, Dribble. All right, catch y'all soon.
All right, Jay. Y'all be smooth.
All right.
Y'all make sure y'all like this.